A sales process that puts you first. We want you to experience an easy purchase with clear pricing and great service.
Let Bayou Ford and Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram be your trusted partners in finding your perfect vehicle. With 5 new brands and a huge selection of certified and pre-owned vehicles to shop on one lot, we're sure to have the right ride for you.
Shop BayouFord.com and BayouCDJR.com or come see us just off I-10 in LaPlace. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
Before every game, you're reminded that Tiger Stadium is a pantheon of concrete and steel. When it was time to add upper decks, do you know where that concrete came from? It's Louisiana Concrete Products. Whether it's the next Gulf hurricane or Death Valley earthquake, you can trust Louisiana Concrete Products.
If you're a Baton Rouge area business struggling to find employees, Tiger Labor and Staffing, a family-owned and operated business, is here to help. Whether it's light industrial work, warehousing, manufacturing, or just a little help on the job site, Tiger Labor and Staffing provides timely, professional employees to help your business get the job done. Reed Brunson and his team will handle background checks, payroll, and workers' compensation insurance. When it comes to temp staffing in Baton Rouge, whether it's a day, a week, or full-time, Tiger Labor and Staffing has the eye of the tiger. Visit the website to learn more, tigerlabor.com.
Seasons change, but the challenges stay the same. Pollen, rain, and heat can wreck your car's finish. A ceramic coating from K Falls Auto Detailing is the only way to protect your car, and our seasoned ceramic coating experts will have your car looking brand new. Visit kfalls.com. That's KFALUS.com.
Game got your heart rate up? Know when it's time to see a cardiologist. Every second counts, no matter the playing field. Call Cardiovascular Institute of the South today to stay in the game. Learn more or schedule at cardio.com.
Why do billion-dollar insurance companies regularly delay and deny valid claims? Because that's how they got to be billion-dollar insurance companies. If you've been injured, I'd like to help.
Spencer Callahan is the one to see. Call 387-2323.
LA filing number 16-7969.
WNXX Jackson, KNXX Donaldsonville, and WDGL HD2 Baton Rouge. This hour brought to you by Spencer Callahan Injury Lawyers. LA 21-12681. Offices in Baton Rouge.
Good morning. It's 7 a.m. here on Tuesday, February 4th. Today in Baton Rouge, you can expect cloudy skies with a high of 80 in hour one of today's show. We'll talk about the news surrounding Kellen Moore and the New Orleans Saints, and the LSU Tigers added an offensive analyst to their coaching staff. You can follow us on Twitter or Instagram at OTB_ESPN and watch us on YouTube at the 104.5 ESPN channel. Hour number one of Off the Bench, live from Radio Row in New Orleans for Super Bowl 59, starts now.
Let's go, baby. Let's go.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Jacob Hester and T-Bob Hebert.
Yeah.
Off the Bench with Jacob Hester and T-Bob Hebert.
Dude, they said I gotta come off the bench.
Now, here's Jacob Hester and T-Bob Hebert.
Yo, what is going on, guys? Welcome back to OTB live from the New Orleans Convention Center, brought to you by LeBair's Baton Rouge Hotel and Casino. Shout out to LeBair's sponsor, trip to Senior Bowl, now all the way to the Super Bowl. It was so much fun yesterday that we decided to do it again today. And, again, we hope you're all having a wonderful day. We got a great show planned. We'll still talk to Coach Mulkey today. Still talk to our guy, Nick Underhill. We got mailbag. We got all of our regular stuff. So, keep it locked over the next 3 hours. YouTube.com/1045 ESPN. If you want to get if you want to get involved, chat, whatever. It looks like we have this new Saints head coach. We have to get into some of the disturbing allegations surrounding the Saints from a piece that was released in The Guardian. I think I've got there's been some interesting things written more on the Luka trade and exactly how it all went down. Look, it's going to be a very fun show today. Come hang out with us. Jakey, what's up, baby? How we feeling today?
Doing good. A little bit of traffic here coming in, but a little bit of a brisk walk as well, but we're here, and I think we're the only ones here again, and the early bird continues to get the worm, but it will pick up. As you probably saw yesterday when you were leaving around 10:30, it starts to pick up, and with each day, it really starts to pick up. So maybe, just maybe, one of these days we'll have another morning show here with us.
Yeah, already I thought I was really being inspired by the juice yesterday, and as I said, it's only going to increase as the week goes on, I'm sure, until it reaches a fever pitch as the single most important sporting event, certainly in the country, And I would say maybe top in the world, say for something like the World Cup, will be going down in New Orleans this Sunday. And we talked about it a bit on Sirius yesterday, but one of the things that's interesting to me about something like this being in New Orleans as opposed to, Los Angeles, New York, something like that, is we are not a very big city.
Right.
We're talking about 500,000 in like the city proper. If you go to greater metro area, maybe you're topping 1 million, I think, maybe right over. That is not that large to, as I said, literally host the biggest sporting event in the country, top 3 in the entire world for the 11th time in just 59 opportunities. So it speaks to, I think, the culture of the city, how much fun it is, the layout, and it is not lost on me on how cool it is to sit here in this seat and get to cover it and be a part of it this week. And so, I'm looking forward, because guess what? I finally got the party invite I've been waiting for years. The best Super Bowl party.
I don't know what this is.
This Friday, 4 to 7 p.m., catch your boy at the chess.com Super Bowl party.
Oh, there we go.
Freaking right, guys.
Yeah, let's go.
Let's go. Leveraging, doing some of that casting for chess.com. I've now got invited to the party. I don't know if I'm allowed to play in the tournament, which is going to feature a bunch of NFL players. But if anybody does not show up or does not want to play, just know I am ready to step in. Okay, but yes, catch me at the chess.com tournament 4 to 7 on Friday.
Very excited for you. I know what that means to you. Yes.
Thank you, Cade. See, Cade's actually using the soundboard effectively.
Oh, he's not hitting the wrong button 4 times?
No, he's not hitting the wrong
that's
button.
weird.
Did y'all notice that I resisted the temptation of the soundboard the entire week in Mobile?
But did you forget?
No, I didn't forget.
Okay.
I lacked confidence. I lacked a good.
I've
good enough.
never known you to lack
it.
confidence.
I know.
mean
every
that in a
now
good
and then,
way.
though, dude. Every now and then.
In a very good way. Yes, we are twinning again. Didn't really plan on twinning again, but we went all black.
Yep.
This is from Daniel. This look is called Unlabeled by Hugo Boss. No, sir. Fit check. Levi, Poncho, Lucky Brand, Melon. I know what I'm wearing.
I don't know what this jacket is. I found this jacket in my closet, but I did. This is the Lulu shirt. I don't know, dude. But whatever. It's a little hot, actually. I think I'm sweating, so I think I'm gonna have to take this jacket off.
You're sweating in here?
Yeah. Are y'all not hot?
I'm good.
I'm the only one. Is it Kate? Thank you, Kate. A little bit, just a little bit.
Just a wee bit.
Hey, Alondra Taylor, how we feeling this morning? How we doing back home? Alondra, how was day one? Boots in the ground here in the convention center.
Day one was good. It was a little slower than I thought it was going to be, but that's fine. Everybody's saying, like Jake was telling us, that Wednesday is when it starts to pop off a little bit. So I'm ready. I'm ready to be back there today. And y'all were giving me FOMO yesterday during the show, though, so I was very excited to get there. And we'll do like an actual fit check when I get there.
Seems like you did great work yesterday, Alondra, certainly. I don't know why Matt Moscona chooses to eat a brat that way, though. As someone who is a brat expert, I don't know if he didn't want the visual of filleting a brat, but I mean that's just how you eat them. So I don't know why that would even cross your mind. But did you see it, Jake? He, instead of eating a hot dog like a normal person, he went like sandwich style straight from the top, which is crazy.
Unhinged.
Because when I was eating a hot dog, when my kids were eating a hot dog Sunday after church, that was exactly how my middle daughter ate her hot dog, and I was dying laughing. I was like, I've never seen anybody. Yeah, exactly. I've never seen anybody do that. And then not 2 days later,
a grown man,
Matt Moscona joining Odette Hebert and eating a hot dog in the most just incongruous way possible. Just never would have fathomed it.
I did find out yesterday because I was walking out and Matt stopped me. He's like, hey, come sit down for a second, and congratulations to us for, finishing number 7 this year on the Barrett rankings. But he also did disclose that he voted a second and not first.
Wow. So who'd he vote first?
Mac and Cubes.
Unbelievable, dude. It'd be your own people, dude.
He told his audience.
It'd be your own.
Said he didn't want to be
bro.
a homer, so he voted us second. And of course, Mac and Cubes, they won. Now we're coming after the number one spot.
Well, that makes me feel a bit better though, because that means that our first place vote did not come from in-house.
That's
fair. So
we did get one. You told me that yesterday over on our Sirius.
Well, Chad told me that. I did not confirm that.
I believe it.
Yeah, I
believe it's truth. So, yeah, it did not come from the program director here on this station. He voted us second.
Unbelievable. Be your own people, dude.
I know.
We got to take a look at the rest of the top 7 and see who we have to climb over.
One of the things, though, that he did point out that I guess I didn't even really realize, we're up against, like, Pittsburgh and Nashville and Vegas.
We're way tight. The show right in front of us from Nashville, we are way tight. In the mid-market is doing – the mid is doing a lot of heavy lifting there as
I kind of leave that part out.
Yeah.
Like New York and L.A., like, they're not in the same boat as we're in.
I know, but that's okay, man. We're going to continue to punch up on these hosts. They just need to
I'm going to punch Mac, and you're going to punch Cube, and we're going to be number 1.
But have you seen number 6? We're going to have trouble with Ramon, Kayla, and Will, maybe just because Ramon.
And I know Ramon. He's a sweet guy, but he's real big.
Real big. I saw him I saw him last week in Mobile. So Ramon, remind me who he is. Who do you play for?
He played for a couple of NFL teams, if I'm not mistaken.
So he feels very
Tennessee?
recognizable to me.
He played college ball. I think
he definitely played
Tennessee.
No, he definitely played at Tennessee. I was thinking about after he got done. Either way, number 6 in the list at 104.5 The Zone is Ramon, Kayla, and Will. Remind you of anybody else? In terms of how it breaks down, Murphy, Sam, and Jody, dude. It's always 2 dudes and a chick.
Yeah.
So, I think
we're doing more lifting. We don't have a third person.
Well, I do think we could take Mac and Q. Ramon's going to be that we maybe 2v1 him.
Yeah.
And I don't know what we're going to do with
it's like back in the day, like if you were at a bar and somebody tried to jump you and your boys, like you kind of had to like stick and back up. Like it's one of those situations. You can't get too deep into the fray.
Baltimore, Buffalo. I guess Buffalo's probably like Baton Rouge size potentially.
No.
You don't think?
No. Okay, can we do a quick Google search on how many people Buffalo, New York has, please? They have two like major franchises, NHL and NFL.
Okay, but I'm getting 275,000 in Buffalo
that's
proper. Let's see what Baton Rouge 219. So Buffalo's beating us by a bit.
I thought it would be
much.
by much more than that.
That's kind of the thing about Louisiana, man.
Franchises.
I know.
That's crazy.
I know. It's also, I mean, think about it, right? LSU's essentially like a pro team in Baton Rouge. If you had something like if you didn't have LSU, you had a you could probably support that. I don't know. Whatever. What are we talking about? We're talking about us. Congratulations. All right. When we get back, though. Let's start to break down the Kellen Moore news because Adam Schefter went right there about 20 feet away from us yesterday on the Pat McAfee show and announced that Kellen Moore will be the Saints' next head football coach. What do you think? Get your takes in the chat, and we'll be back with more Off the Bench next.
Off the Bench.
Get Gordon and get it done. 225-888-8888. Gordon McCurdy Injury Attorneys there for you when you need them. You need somebody who's going to fight for you and get you what you deserve. That's Gordon, okay? And he's been at it for a while. When you get in an accident, that sucks, but it can feel even more overwhelming when you don't have somebody who's standing up for you when the insurance company's trying to deny you what you deserve. That's where Gordon comes in. He's been doing this for a long time, guys. Also, follow him on social media at Get Gordon. You find a lot of great content. Favorite athletes, members of the G team.
Go to getgordon.com, and you can do it all like T said. You can have a chat right there on the homepage of the website. Past client results, cases they can handle for you in the courtroom, and then always on social media. See what they're doing in the community throughout Louisiana. At Get Gordon's always going to be the handle on all major social media. And then, of course, your area code in Louisiana, followed by 888-8888. That's Gordon McKernan. Get Gordon and get it done.
To experience an easy purchase with clear pricing and great service. Let Bayou Ford and Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram be your trusted partners in finding your perfect vehicle. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
Gary and Benny Payne began Central Plumbing Company out of their driveway in Tanglewood subdivision. 50 years later and 4 generations down the road, we continue to serve Baton Rouge and the surrounding areas for all of their plumbing needs. Residential, commercial, industrial, or hospitality, Central Plumbing is here 24/7, 365.
We want to thank our customers, family, and friends for 50 years of success.
And looking forward to 50 more.
At Auctioner, we know healing is a team sport. That's why we've partnered with world-renowned orthopedic surgeon Dr. James Andrews to create the Auctioner Andrews Orthopedics and Sports Medicine Institute. Whether you're a professional athlete or a weekend warrior, our team of specialists are dedicated to getting you back in the game. So whatever your reasons are for reaching your personal best, we've only got one: you. Auctioner Andrews Institute. Long live you.
Got chores that need some extra muscle, but a large piece of equipment is overkill? That's what John Deere compact utility tractors were made for. Powerful enough for the work you need to do. Compact enough for how you need to do it. Find the equipment that's right for you at Sunshine Quality Solutions. Check out our current promotions and learn more about what it means to be powered by sunshine at sunequip.com.
Crime has serious consequences, but anyone can make a mistake. If you find yourself in trouble with the law, know that you have rights, and it's okay to demand them. The law offices of O.C. Brown are here to protect you and your rights. Felony or misdemeanor, DUI or drug charge. No matter what crime you're accused of, you still have rights. Let the law offices of O.C. Brown uphold them. Call 225-343-1111. Your law firm for a lifetime.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. Live from Super Bowl 59 Radio Row in New Orleans. Presented by L'Auberge Casino Hotel, Baton Rouge.
Boom, boom, boom. What's going on, y'all? Welcome back here in the New Orleans Convention Center, OTB, live from the Super Bowl, baby. Brought to you, our coverage here on site, brought to you by L'Auberge Casino Hotel in Baton Rouge. Shout out to L'Auberge having us out here. Go play some Casino games.
L'Auberge. Real quick before we get into anything, because it is 7:16, and I think my main man, Memphis Hester, is in the car right now, probably listening.
Memphis, what's up, dude?
Happy 9th birthday.
Happy 9th birthday, Memphis. All right, dog, I feel you, Memphis. I'll be 36 a couple days from now. We're birthday bros, dude.
Yeah, a lot of February birthdays. Katie's the 22nd.
Hey, Al's 23rd.
I know.
There you go, dude.
So
how do you know that? That's crazy. I know you have an affinity for birthdays.
I do. And I just, once I get one in there, kind of lock it in. So shout out to Memphis Hester, my main man, my 8-sport playing Memphis Miles Hester, always working, always doing something. And he got donuts this morning. Hope you enjoyed them, and I'll see you later tonight, my man.
The man with one of the most mischievous looking faces I've ever seen. It just his entire, the grin, the ears, everything just speaks of like a little mischievous twinkle behind the eye a little bit.
I know, and he's got baby blues. It's just you fall into him, and then he's got you.
Do you think that he voted us number one? Did he vote on the Barrett Sports Media? Chad is asking.
Yeah, I think he only knows one show, and it's Off the Bench with T-Bob and Hester.
Hell yeah, dude.
So,
as long as you don't listen after 9 a.m., Memphis, we're good. So,
it's very true.
The New Orleans Saints. Have found their guy. So where we're set up right here, you see ESPN radar behind us. If you look like 20 feet over there, the Pat McAfee set is there, and it's really awesome, actually. It's pretty crazy. But yesterday on Pat McAfee, Adam Schefter had this to say, quote, The head of the Saints organization, Mickey Loomis, is going to do everything in his power when it comes to this coaching hire to follow the rules and go by the book, to not talk to Kellen Moore until after the Super Bowl. Could it break down and they don't reach an agreement? Sure. Is that likely? No. Kellen Moore is going to have a chance to probably triple his salary and become a head coach, one of 32. Kind of a funny allusion to what
Mickey.
Loomis had to say a few weeks ago. If the Saints are making, he would go on to say, quote, if the Saints were making any other move, whether it was hiring the Miami Dolphins coordinator Anthony Weaver or New York Giants coordinator Mike Kafka or their own interim head coach, what are they waiting for? Why not go hire them right now? But they're not. They're waiting. And they're waiting to talk to Kellen Moore. And they're waiting to make sure that they give the Eagles zero evidence they've tampered with the guy until after the game. But the fact they don't have a coach tells you everything you need to know. Barring a setback, he's going to be the guy. So,
I don't like barring a setback, but I know you can't speak in absolutes.
Yeah.
But just with the way that this coaching search is gone, I don't love the fact that you're letting time pass and maybe he can change his mind.
But you have to, right? I know. I agree with you. Like the barring the setback language is simply just because, as you said, it's a week. A Super Bowl is going to take place. A lot's going to happen. What if Kellen Moore? I mean, it's not. We've seen what was the Billy Donovan? Remember that?
Yeah.
He signs to go with the Magic, I think, and then he ends up crying in a press conference and going back on it. He returns to Florida, so a last minute change.
I mean, Jets for 2 days, a day, then decides to go to the Patriots.
A last minute change of heart is still technically in play here, but again, not likely. If you were a betting man, you would bet that Kellen Moore is going to be the Saints' next head coach. Here's what he had to say yesterday. Quote, it's obviously been a good process. Having the opportunity to meet with Mickey and their leadership group has been great, and it's set up in a way that allows us to focus on the game, and we'll see what happens after that. So, a bit non-committal yesterday because it's not a good look, especially in the Philly media market, for Kellen Moore to be talking too much about the Saints at this thing, right? As he kind of alluded to constantly yesterday, his sole focus is on the Super Bowl, as it should be. When you get here, something that we talked about yesterday, you get here, you never know if you're going to get back, right? If you're a young player, you probably take it for granted. Oh, yeah, I'll find my way back in. Then you look up. Maybe you have one of the most successful NFL careers ever. You played 13 years, but you never even sniffed it again. Well, that can happen with coaches as well. Coaches who spend 20, 30, 40 years in the game. So, yeah, Kellen Moore is going to be fully focused on this Super Bowl. And then afterwards, I think he's going to really enjoy being named one of the NFL's 32 head coaches. Like, if he has any doubts about quarterback or anything else that popped up, he has already processed those and decided that he wants to move forward. He did not tell them no. Otherwise, the Saints would just, as the article talked about, go ahead and talk to, hire Kafka, Weaver, Rizzi, whatever. Kellen Moore's the guy.
You think he's thinking about pulling like a me machine, Burt Reynolds, and being the player coach since he outdueled Carr in college?
Yeah, wait, so take me back. So they actually played each other in college when Kellen Moore was at Boise, Carr was at Fresno. Boise dominated. Remember, Kellen Moore was 50-3 as a college starting quarterback. But what happened in that game?
I mean, he threw like 3 tuds, and I think Carr only threw for like 150-something yards maybe, and only 1 score. And Kellen Moore had like a perfect quarterback rating in the game. So it is wild that he potentially is going to be coaching someone that he played in college. And these NFL head coaches do continue to get younger and younger. Used to, it's kind of like the president. Like you had to be like over 45.
Yeah.
We don't even consider you to be a head coach. That has changed. But, yeah, he outdueled him, Boise and Fresno. So, look, he knows the player. I mean, they played each other in college, and they were the same age, and you know how that is. Like, all the centers that were the same age as you. Like, you knew where they were, how they ended up, and a little bit about them. And so he does have a book on Derek Carr, knows him as a player. And if he's already accepted that, and that is a part of the challenge, and he's still moving forward, that should give you some maybe hope that he feels like he can get more out of Carr.
Well, to me, what's interesting is I don't know that I know that he –
like Spencer Rattler.
That's what I was saying. I think he is cognizant. All I'm saying is that he's cognizant of the quarterback situation and he's accepted it. Does that mean he says, okay, we'll just play out Carr's contract? Maybe. Does that mean, no, when he gets in there, his first move is going to be to cut Carr, absorb the cost? Maybe Mickey said, look, we're going to give you time. We talked about the Saints pride themselves on being non-reactive. Although I think many would scoff at this, the Saints front office views themselves like something like the Pittsburgh Steelers, right? They kind of believe that their process is right, their process is good, and that regardless of public pressure, we're going to stick to the process, and we're going to give these things time. And there is value there. Now, I do think it's a bit unearned with New Orleans as opposed to maybe something like Pittsburgh, whose stability is that of legend. But like there is value there. So I don't know. Maybe they told Moore, look, okay, you get to make the decision on quarterback. And
you'd have to.
Yeah, exactly. And so look, if you don't want to go with Carr, because let's say Moore said that in the meeting, and you were going to eat the cap hit, like I understand next year may be really bad, but it's okay. We're not like you're going to have time then and have an opportunity to try to get your guy and try to figure out. So how Kellen Moore will handle it, and maybe it's Rattler. Like you said, there's all rumors that, the people are actually high in the building on Rattler. How Kellen Moore will handle it, I don't know, but I do feel really confident that Kellen Moore will be the one handling it. As I believe after the Super Bowl, when they're allowed to talk again, everything will be finalized, and he'll be announced as the head coach of the New Orleans Saints.
Yeah, I would think that he has all the leverage in the situation because of where you're at in the coaching search, who's still available, who's interested in your job, and so you can ask for things like that, like, hey, I'm not saying that Derek Carr is not going to be our quarterback. I'm not saying he's going to be our quarterback. I just want you to know that it is going to be my choice. I am going to see all of the players that are available. Let's throw Jake Hayner maybe in there as well, although I don't think he's in the competition. You still drafted him in the 4th round. Let's have all those guys go out there, and I'm going to pick the best quarterback. The last 2 years, he's coached Justin Herbert and Jalen Hurts. So he knows what it looks like. 2 different quarterbacks as well, and he's done pretty well with both the quarterbacks. And so different styles, that gives you hope that he can make sure that the right quarterback, at least the best quarterback for you, is a starter moving forward.
Well, yeah, so that, I mean, to me, that is the greatest surface-level piece about Kellen Moore that is attractive is the versatility that he displayed this season. Because coming out of Dallas, as you said, coming out. Oh, I got a burp, but now just like, okay, there we go.
Yeah, no cough button here.
No, coming out of Dallas, coming out of L.A., he was viewed as a fancy pants passing lad, and then to take over Philadelphia, okay, where are my strengths? I have Saquon Barkley. Okay, well, we're just going to run the ball. We're going to run the ball. Really just create an offense that is kind of the complete polar opposite of what he had been running his entire career up to that point. And he's run that offense all the way to the Super Bowl. And the offense works great contextually with like what the defense for Philly wants to do. Yeah. But the point is that to me, the most attractive quality of any coach is always that ability to really adapt to the personnel and not just say it, but to actually do it, to adapt, to maximize what you have. And clearly I feel like he did that this season. So, I got to be clear. I don't think Kellen Moore is some, like, home run hire. I don't think he's I'm not sitting here terribly excited about it because I think he's being dealt a really bad hand. He is kind of, maybe he's that lottery ticket guy. He's in that category that we talked about, the lottery ticket coordinators who you don't fully know the upside. But yeah, on the whole, Jake, like if you were to ask me like my grade on the hire, my excitement level, it's pretty tepid. Just kind of like, okay. Yeah. It's interesting that it's a new head coach, and that's like a big deal. But like nothing about him or his resume has me like super fired up.
Yeah, it's not one of the coordinators that was kind of the it name for a couple of years. Now he's been a respected name, and we go back to his days finishing up with Dallas, the next year being the quarterback coach. I do think that's a big positive. Even though Dallas is dysfunctional, I still think them giving him a job like that as soon as he retires kind of shows you, at least in the NFL circles, how much he's valued. So that is a plus. But, we talked about Ben Johnson for multiple years and being Aaron Glenn for multiple years. And so it's not that. But also it's not somebody that finished 30th in yards and 31st in points. Right? I mean, so like we've also had those conversations. And I do think it is important to point out what T-Bob just said. Different offenses, different quarterback, different philosophies, but the same coordinator. That is a coach that goes to Philly, says, okay, here's what I have. How can we make this the best possible product? And that's how you win 15 of 16 here down the stretch for Philly, because they really just honed in on what they do elite.
Yeah.
And they made the most of that, and teams know it's coming, and they still can't stop it.
And there's probably something to be said for taking over a pretty toxic situation.
Very
with
toxic.
A lot of big
The way it
personalities in the room. Yeah, and kind of riding that ship. So there you go. There's a couple positives on Kellen Moore. What do you think? What is your emotional reaction to the hire?
I do
Comment on youtube.com/1045 ESPN.
I have one of those from Daniel inside the Bayou 4 chat on YouTube. I'm not a huge fan of his face.
Me neither. I mean, it's
is there
great,
anything
it's a
he
great
can do
point,
about
Daniel.
that?
No, it's a great point, Daniel. It's something that I've kind of avoided discussing up to this point. He definitely gives you it is that scene in Step Brothers when Rob Riggle is talking about just wanting to punch Will Ferrell in the face.
Yeah.
And he's like, it's not your fault. There's nothing you could do about it. It's just something about it just triggers me. I don't necessarily want to punch Kellen Moore, but his face is not one that inspires confidence, right? There's not a very sharp or angular chin. I prefer almost like a Roman aquiline nose, if I could have one in my head football coach. Maybe like a beautifully grayed widow's peak. But instead, we're kind of getting a soft, young, beardless man. Beardless boy.
Yeah. No beard.
No beard.
Yeah. No beard's hard.
But look,
like, no facial
to be
hair is
fair,
hard.
To be fair, even though maybe his face is maybe traditionally a bit more good-looking than Kellen Moore, like a lot of those same things would apply to Sean McVay. And so if you're going for the Sean McVay-esque hire, what do you mean?
Sean McVay
has
pretty
a
sharp looking, though.
Sean McVay has a 7th grade boy's haircut.
He does.
What are you talking about?
That is factual.
What are you talking about, Rivers? He absolutely does. Sean McVay looks like he's like, he would, yeah, exactly. The little ramp up in the front. What is he going to his 7th grade dance? He's also beardless. He's also tiny.
Nobody loves a good wave up top like high school Jacob Hester.
Me too. That's what I'm saying. I used to be able to take a tech deck off the top of my hair, do kick flips. It was incredible. Be rock hard.
Whoa.
But anyway.
I always loved when someone would come in with the spike hair for the first time in high school, and you'd hit the, hey, girl, I want to catch a wave.
It was a good feeling when the wave was hitting just right. Or a good faux hawk. Sean McVay's also borderline faux hawk.
Yeah.
Again, maybe a little less now.
Faux hawk adjacent for sure.
He's carrying a little less weight in the face if we just really want to start to physically pick these people apart.
Yeah.
That would be maybe McVay's greatest advantage over Moore. But Daniel's overall point is right.
This is the kind of breakdown you will not get on Mac and Q.
That's right.
Promise you that. They're talking about counter G, and they're talking about Q power and different things, which we can't do.
I don't know.
That
Kalen DeBoer looked pretty fat on the sidelines last year, and that seemed to be a huge sticking point amongst Alabama fans.
Really?
What, you didn't? You missed all that conversation?
I don't get into the nitty-gritty.
Yeah, because
he
was wearing very unflattering clothes the entire time.
I do know they got mad that he wore like a dry fit and not a polo.
That's what I'm saying. Yes,
it was that whole conversation?
Triggered.
Wow.
Triggered. Hard.
I mean, y'all got, look, Coach Saban's tiny. He's a tiny fella. So you can't really compare Kalen DeBoer to Coach Saban.
I think Kalen DeBoer's biggest missteps not dressing nice or not nice. I do feel like his choice of sideline attire is not flattering to his shape. I would say that. But it's okay. He's got Ryan Grubb back. He's got his boy back.
He's got his best friend.
The boys are back.
He does.
All right. When we Jesse says, it'd be great, a young core of defensive players to build your defense around. Trey Hendrickson, Anzalone, Chauncey Gardner-Johnson, Zach Bond.
God.
All guys who went deep in the playoffs, made
Two real
postseason teams.
Too real.
Jeez. Like, you could literally have all those guys right now.
Yes.
That's insane.
At least two of them.
That's insane.
I mean, you had one of them that's an all-pro crying in the parking lot because he hated being there so much.
Kellen Moore looks like he won all the spelling bees. Old beardless soft jaw Moore. Okay, guys, relax.
I loved a good spelling bee.
I did too. I'll never forget getting knocked out on the word memoir.
I didn't say I was good. I just said I liked them.
I went MEMWAR. Had no idea what a memoir was at the time.
You didn't ask for like a definition or to use it in a sentence?
No, I asked for a definition. I had no idea what it was, though. I'd never heard of it.
Yeah.
And they got knocked out on Seal. one year because I spelled the wrong kind of seal.
Like the animal, or
I don't remember which one it was. That was frustrating, though.
Right. Didn't mean to bring those up. Didn't know you had scars. I apologize.
All right, guys. More off the bench coming up next.
Off the bench.
Shout out to our new friends at Boudreaux's Electrical. Okay, one of the top Generac dealers in the entire state. In fact, we got 9 certified technicians through Generac. And one thing to note when you work for Boudreaux's, and look, man, we understand that that getting one of these generators is a very big investment. And to make sure that you know that we understand that we have 24/7 monitoring to make sure that your system is always ready to go when you need it. Because that's the whole point of this, right? You want to, when the crap hits the fan, you want the lights to stay on. You want your home to stay powered. We got you at Boudreaux's Electrical. And let's say that you're in a storm, right? And things aren't going well, whatever. They've actually driven out in the eye of hurricanes before, cutting down trees to get to a customer to make sure they're good to go. And this is not like dealing with one of those national companies who are just a number in a spreadsheet. A lot of private equity in this business now. No. When you work with Boudreaux's, they're local, they're customer first, they're there for you, they're family run. Boudreaux'Electrical.com.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary, for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
There's never been a better time to catch a John Deere deal from the crew of Sunshine. Ask us about our low monthly payment options on our tractor packages and let the good times roll. With equipment strong enough to power one of the world's largest celebrations, we've got your needs covered too. Learn more about what it means to be powered by Sunshine at sunequip.com. Some restrictions apply. See dealer for details. Offer ends March 5th, 2025.
Jerry and Benny Payne began Central Plumbing Company out of their driveway in Tanglewood subdivision. 50 years later and 4 generations down the road, we continue to serve Baton Rouge and the surrounding areas for all of their plumbing needs. Residential, commercial, industrial, or hospitality, Central Plumbing is here 24/7, 365.
We want to thank our customers, family, and friends for 50 years of success.
And looking forward to 50 more.
At Auctioner, we know healing is a team sport. That's why we've partnered with world-renowned orthopedic surgeon Dr. James Andrews to create the Auctioner Andrews Orthopedics and Sports Medicine Institute. Whether you're a professional athlete or a weekend warrior, our team of specialists are dedicated to getting you back in the game. So whatever your reasons are for reaching your personal best, we've only got one: you. Auctioner Andrews Institute. Long live you.
Crime has serious consequences, but anyone can make a mistake. If you find yourself in trouble with the law, know that you have rights, and it's okay to demand them. The law offices of O.C. Brown are here to protect you and your rights. Felony or misdemeanor, DUI or drug charge. No matter what crime you're accused of, you still have rights. Let the law offices of O.C. Brown uphold them. Call 225-343-1111. Your law firm for a lifetime.
VIN.com. Again.
Sell us your car. Give me the VIN.com. So easy you can do it in your underwear.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. Live from Super Bowl 59 Radio Row in New Orleans. Presented by L'Auberge Casino Hotel Baton Rouge.
Yo, what's going on, y'all? Welcome back to OTB here live, youtube.com/1045 ESPN. If you want to get involved, hang out in the chat today. Rolling right along. Kellen Moore going to be the Saints head coach. And everybody's ripping on Kellen Moore. So the Kellen Moore era off to a great start here. Who knows? Maybe he could be the hero. Look, you know who else looked pretty baby-faced when he was hired? Sean Payton. Remember? He was a young offensive mind, beardless. Again, a little bit more angular, a little bit more McVay-like in that way, but still. It's worked out before. Maybe it worked out. William Anthony says, Fantastic Four trailer is out. William Anthony, you could not have told me anything in the world that I would care less about. I don't know that Fantastic. I mean, look, maybe they finally figured it out.
Now, Fantastic Four, the comics, I was all about growing up.
Yeah, they're great.
I loved the Fantastic Four, the idea of it. The movies have been horrid.
That's what I'm saying. And with the current state of Marvel and company, Marvel's brought in-house now. I don't have much belief that's going to do.
I don't either.
Anything.
I'm going to try it, though. Maybe not at the theater.
No.
I don't think I've been to the theater maybe since we saw the Nick Cage movie.
I went to see Nosferatu. Sign the contract. And it was really good.
I know you liked it.
That was the last one I've been to. Anyway, all right, Jake. So this is the 11th time the Super Bowl's been here in New Orleans. Of course, you are hosting Super Bowl Radio at 9 to 12 on Sirius XM channel 106. Big stage, huge. It's really cool over there. Thanks for having me on yesterday. But let's go through a little history of all these Super Bowls in New Orleans. Like we said, 59 opportunities, 11 times our tiny little wonderful port city has played host. So let's go through the games.
So in 1970 in Tulane Stadium, you had Kansas City over Minnesota 23-7, and that was actually the last Super Bowl before the AFL-NFL merger. And Lynn Dawson was named the MVP of the game, probably smoking a heater on the sideline.
Okay, so when was this? What year?
1970.
Okay, Super Bowl what?
I don't know. Roman numeral. Hit me up.
Oh, okay. Let me see. Where
right
we
here.
looking? Let's show me where we're looking at. 4.
Yep, there you go. I should know that from Rocky. That's on me.
Damn, yeah, for real.
Yeah.
I should know. That is a very funny way to say I should know the Roman numeral 4. But you're right, because I can see the Rocky 4 title.
I even have a tattoo of Roman numeral somewhere.
I can see the Rocky 4 sign in my head right there.
Yeah.
Okay. Yes. Super Bowl 4.
All right, let's go to 1972. I'm going to guess that's Super Bowl 6.
Yes,
look at me.
That is correct.
Yeah, that also is in Tulane Stadium, and that was Taylor's Dallas Cowboys over the Miami Dolphins, 24-3. The Cowboys, led by Roger Staubach, won their first ever Super Bowl. It's first one.
Oh wow, the first of many, but none recent. So, okay, so you had early on, New Orleans hot, 2 Super Bowls in 4 years. What happened? When's the next one come around?
So still another one in Tulane Stadium. This is in 1975, and it was the Pittsburgh Steelers over the Minnesota Vikings. The Steelers claimed their first Super Bowl behind Franco Harris, and that was really like one of the beginnings of maybe the greatest dynasty that we've ever seen. Remember, they won 4 Super Bowls in 6 years.
So this is Super Bowl 9, and it's pretty interesting here. I never thought about that. A stadium that is now defunct, Tulane Stadium, the beginnings of the 2 franchises that have won more Super Bowls than anybody else. No, that's not true. The Steelers, I think, are tied with the Patriots. And then Dallas is right behind. But still, both the Cowboys and the Steelers getting their first ever Super Bowl on New Orleans soil.
All right, but it would not be the last time that the Cowboys got one done in New Orleans. So actually, in 1978, it was the first Super Bowl in a domed stadium, and that was in the, of course, Louisiana Superdome, and the Cowboys beat the Denver Broncos 27-10.
Okay, so wait, hold on. Is this Steelers Vikings or is this Cowboys Broncos?
Right here.
Okay,
so 78. Yeah.
Okay, so Super Bowl 12.
Yeah, that's true. I know the X is 10. Thank you, Fast and Furious.
There you go. Fast X. Look, healing LA one at a time. And then, okay, so
and it was the first and only Super Bowl with co-MVPs.
Oh, okay, my bad. I was reading these. Wait, no, but this is Super Bowl 15. Or is this? Sorry, hold on.
There you go, T.
Is this okay? So this. Okay,
yes.
Okay, my bad. I was getting a bit confused. Okay, what's next?
All right, so then in 1981, again in the Louisiana Superdome, it was the Oakland Raiders 27-10 over the Philadelphia Eagles. Jim Plunkett became the first Latino quarterback to win a Super Bowl, and I believe Jaws was the quarterback of the Eagles.
That would make sense. That's the only quarterback that I can imagine that made a Super Bowl with the Eagles.
Yes.
Would have been Ron Jaworski. Shout out to, I didn't know Jim Plunkett was Latino. Shout out to Jim Plunkett. Is that the Cardinals' only Super Bowl? Or, you said Raiders.
The Raiders, yeah. And the Raiders, if it wasn't for the Raiders, the Steelers would have had a three-peat. They beat them in the AFC Championship game, I believe I know one time for sure. And then when the Steelers were going for another three-peat, they went 9-7 and didn't make the postseason.
Wait, so is that John Madden?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, okay,
yeah,
Super Bowl 15. Okay, yeah. So those are those incredible Raiders teams.
And then, maybe a Super Bowl that I really like, NFL films, probably the first one that I sat down and watched, the history of this season and this Super Bowl. In 1986, so it was the 85 season, inside the Superdome, it was the 85 Bears, 46 the Patriots 10. Of course, dominant defense. Mike Dick is the head coach. I heard you tried to put some bad juju on Mike Dickey yesterday as well.
Yeah, I accidentally diagnosed him with Parkinson's.
Yeah.
Which that's on me, guys. Hand up. Sometimes you just gotta admit when you're wrong, and it's very rare. But I was wrong. I don't think Mike Dickey has Parkinson's. I hope that coach's health is. I hope it's going great.
All right. So,
but that's Super Bowl 20, and that's of note because you should hear, and we're going to have the Cannon on at some point this week, but you should hear my old man talk about practicing against that Chicago Bears defense, because before the season they were actually in training camp together up in Wisconsin, and they would do joint practices, and they said that it would feel like you scored a touchdown when you got a first down. They have never he's never seen anything like it, just the most hard-nosed, nasty, dominant, hard-hitting defense
Ron
that
Rivera.
has ever. Oh, really?
Yeah, middle linebacker on that team.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's ever been assembled. Just completely unstoppable. Jake, okay.
And my father-in-law played for the Bears the next season, and he's he talks about just how mean and nasty and tough. They wouldn't even talk to the offense. Not even Sweetness, Walter Payton.
No.
They were just they were them. It was the defense, and
they were the stars.
It was hard to be one of the Brodies if you weren't one of those guys.
Buddy Ryan, right? Was he the?
I believe so. Yeah,
he was the.
Right?
He was the D coordinator.
I believe so.
On those teams,
if he wasn't, he should have been,
because he was just zero blitzing his ass off.
That's true.
Just killing people.
Yeah.
All right, let's go to break. When we get back, we'll continue to break down all of the Super Bowls that have taken place here in New Orleans. Keep it locked. Shout out to LeBear's Casino Baton Rouge Hotel for bringing you our coverage. We'll be back with more next.
Off the bench.
Hey, guys, go to centralplumbing.org, 925-8552. Centralplumbing.org is there for you when you need them, because they have 24/7 emergency service. They've also been at this thing for 50 years, guys. You can't hit Central Plumbing with a problem they don't know how to fix. Maybe it's not a fix, though. Maybe you want to do a bathroom remodel, upgrade any of your systems. Maybe you want to go to something like a tankless water heater. They have licensed, bond insured employees, flat rate pricing, great warranty once the work is done. Centralplumbing.org, centralplumbing.org.
Yeah, go to the website today, see what they can do for you, like T-Bob said, in the remodel game. That's at your home or your business. And no matter what you're trying to get done, new vanity, new shower, new tile, whatever, they can come in and they can complete that job, but also at your business. If you have a business and you have a large space, do not worry. They can come in and completely change that as well. Go to the website today, centralplumbing.org.
Family owned and community driven.
Service Chevrolet Cadillac, a legacy you can trust since 1972. Service Chevrolet Cadillac, our family serving your family.
For over 50 years.
Got chores that need some extra muscle, but a large piece of equipment is overkill? That's what John Deere compact utility tractors were made for. Powerful enough for the work you need to do. Compact enough for how you need to do it. Find the equipment that's right for you at Sunshine Quality Solutions. Check out our current promotions and learn more about what it means to be powered by sunshine at sunequip.com.
Jerry and Benny Payne began Central Plumbing Company out of their driveway in Tanglewood subdivision. 50 years later and 4 generations down the road, we continue to serve Baton Rouge and the surrounding areas for all of their plumbing needs. Residential, commercial, industrial, or hospitality, Central Plumbing is here 24/7, 365.
We want to thank our customers, family, and friends for 50 years of success.
And looking forward to 50 more.
At Auctioner, we know healing is a team sport. That's why we've partnered with world-renowned orthopedic surgeon Dr. James Andrews to create the Auctioner Andrews Orthopedics and Sports Medicine Institute. Whether you're a professional athlete or a weekend warrior, our team of specialists are dedicated to getting you back in the game. So whatever your reasons are for reaching your personal best, we've only got one: you. Auctioner Andrews Institute. Long live you.
Crime has serious consequences, but anyone can make a mistake. If you find yourself in trouble with the law, know that you have rights, and it's okay to demand them. The law offices of O.C. Brown are here to protect you and your rights. Felony or misdemeanor, DUI or drug charge. No matter what crime you're accused of, you still have rights. Let the law offices of O.C. Brown uphold them. Call 225-343.
It's for you. Only you. It's for you. No one never care. I'll never believe my people. I'll tell you.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. Live from Super Bowl 59 Radio Row in New Orleans. Presented by L'Auberge Casino Hotel Baton Rouge. Baton Rouge.
What's going on, y'all? Welcome back to OTB here on 104.5 ESPN. We are live at Radio Row at the Super Bowl, and it's because L'Auberge Casino Hotel Baton Rouge. So thank you for sponsoring our trip out here. It's really cool out here. All right, so there's been this is the 11th Super Bowl in 59 years here in New Orleans. We're going through the history of them. Thus far, we've seen a lot of legendary moments, right? We've seen the Steelers first, the Cowboys first Latino quarterback with Jim Plunkett to win it, the 85 Bears defense. We saw 5 Super Bowls in the first 15, 6 in the first 27 in the first 24. Jake, where are we at next?
All right, let's go to Super Bowl 24 in 1990. It was the San Francisco 49ers over the Denver Broncos, 55-10. Joe Montana led the 49ers to the most lopsided Super Bowl victory in history. And remember, Elway could get there a lot, could never get over the hump. Now, later on, he was certainly able to over the Packers and Falcons like we talked about yesterday, but that was kind of the narrative of his career early on, and that was really when Joe Montana was hitting his stride.
Playoffs are broken, dude. Playoffs are broken. Blowout in the championship? Garbage sport.
That's very true. Very true. All right, then I think a lot of people our age really remember this one. And
I do. This is like my first one that I kind of have memory
and not
of.
like memories because they went back and watched it on NFL films, but probably remember sitting down, remembering players, and that is Super Bowl 31 in 1997. It was the Green Bay Packers over the Patriots 35-21, and Brett Favre and Desmond Howard brought the Packers to their first title in 29 years. It was Desmond Howard, though, that would win the MVP of the Super Bowl.
I mean, bro, you return a kick for a touchdown in a Super Bowl, you are a legend.
Yep.
Absolutely. And those are some very fun Green Bay Packer teams. My favorite player was Mark Chumara. Shout out Mark Chumara wherever you're at.
Gilbert Brown?
Yeah, that's the big man in the middle, right?
Yeah, visor.
Yeah.
Did the shovel celebration.
Incredible look for Gilbert.
Yeah, aesthetic was incredible. Super Bowl 36 in 2002. It was the Patriots over the Rams 20-17. Tom Brady won his first Super Bowl in a major upset over the greatest show on turf.
Yeah, I mean, who could forget the stories of Brady in that time where it's like this young cat whose pulse doesn't rise. Everybody's talking about how calm, cool, and collected he is. At that point, the Rams were coming off of beating the Titans the year before, right? That was the Dyson game where Dyson gets tackled at the half-yard line. Rams win the Super Bowl. I think the Rams, maybe they were the favorite going into that game, but the next year they were the heavy favorite, right? The Patriots were not supposed to be able to keep up with the greatest show on turf, and that was the beginning of a lot of legends. Not just Tom Brady, but why am I blanking? The kicker, Jake.
For Patriots? Vinatieri?
Yeah, Vinatieri. I was thinking Vanderjack. I had Vanderjack on the mind. No, Vinatieri. I mean, that was the first of many legendary kicks we would go on to witness him hit.
All right, and then the last time before we kick off on Sunday was Super Bowl 47. I hate talking about this one. It was then Mercedes-Benz Superdome, the Blackout Bowl. Remember, it was the Ravens 34, the 49ers 31. The game was halted for 34 minutes due to a power outage, and the Ravens held off the 49ers comeback, and it was bitterness from your boy because the Ravens beat us.
Bro, what if the lights go out again? I mean, that would be. So here's Taylor Sharp's from an Instagram post yesterday. Taylor Sharp's top 5 New Orleans Super Bowl moments. Number 5, Desmond Howard's 99-yard kick return for a touchdown in Super Bowl 31. Number 4, Joe Montana and the Niners beating the Broncos 55-10 in Super Bowl 24. Number 3, Dallas Cowboys begin their dynasty with their first Super Bowl win in Super Bowl 6. Number 2, Jacoby Jones' 109-yard kick return literally knocks the lights out.
New Orleans native, too.
And then that is true. That's wild to think about. And then number 1, Tom Brady's first ever Super Bowl win against the greatest show on turf. Tay, I think you did a pretty good job, Bo.
It is a pretty good job there, Tay. You didn't suck.
Hour 2 guy, I'm not next.
Off the bench.
At Bayou Automotive, we believe in a sales process that puts you first. We want you to experience an easy purchase with clear pricing and great service. Let Bayou Ford and Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram be your trusted partners in finding your perfect vehicle. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
The Windsor Senior Living Community in Mandeville, Louisiana is a beautiful, vibrant apartment community geared toward seniors. They are nestled right in the heart of Mandeville, where seniors live a more carefree lifestyle in spacious apartments with the peace of mind that comes from having a little extra help. Call the Windsor at 985-624-8040 to schedule a lunch and tour. Come see how the Windsor can be your passport to peace of mind.
Got chores that need some extra muscle, but a large piece of equipment is overkill? That's what John Deere compact utility tractors were made for. Powerful enough for the work you need to do. Compact enough for how you need to do it. Find the equipment that's right for you at Sunshine Quality Solutions. Check out our current promotions and learn more about what it means to be powered by sunshine at sunequip.com.
Jerry and Benny Payne began Central Plumbing Company out of their driveway in Tanglewood subdivision. 50 years later and 4 generations down the road, we continue to serve Baton Rouge and the surrounding areas for all of their plumbing needs. Residential, commercial, industrial, or hospitality, Central Plumbing is here 24/7, 365.
We want to thank our customers, family, and friends for 50 years of success.
And looking forward to 50 more.
At Auctioner, we know healing is a team sport. That's why we've partnered with world-renowned orthopedic surgeon Dr. James Andrews to create the Auctioner Andrews Orthopedics and Sports Medicine Institute. Whether you're a professional athlete or a weekend warrior, our team of specialists are dedicated to getting you back in the game. So whatever your reasons are for reaching your personal best, we've only got one. You. Auctioner Andrews Institute. Long live you.
Crime has serious consequences, but anyone can make a mistake. If you find yourself in trouble with the law, know that you have rights, and it's okay to demand them. The law offices of O.C. Brown are here to protect you and your rights. Felony or misdemeanor, DUI or drug charge. No matter what crime you're accused of, you still have rights. Let the law offices of O.C. Brown uphold them. Call 225-343-1111. Your law firm for a lifetime.
Looking for the ultimate game day experience? Come to the Queen Casino in Baton Rouge. Wall-to-wall TVs mean you'll see every touchdown in HD. Place your bets and feel the thrill of every play with our DraftKings Sportsbook. The Queen Casino, where every moment is a win.
Good morning. It's 8 a.m. here on Tuesday, February 4th. Today in Baton Rouge, you can expect cloudy skies with a high of 80 in hour 2 of today's show. LSU women's basketball coach Kim Mulkey hops on the show at 8:30. You can follow us on Twitter or Instagram at OTB_ESPN and watch us on YouTube at the 104.5 ESPN channel. Hour number 2 of Off the Bench, live from New Orleans. We're covering Super Bowl 59, starts now.
Let's go, baby, let's go! All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Jacob Hester and T-Bob Hebert.
Yeah, 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 yeah!
Off the Bench with Jacob Hester and T-Bob Hebert.
Hey, they said I gotta come off the bench.
Now, here's Jacob Hester and T-Bob Hebert.
Yo, what's happening, y'all? Nice. I think I shamed Nick Underhill and maybe getting up here in person 9 a.m. We will see.
I was about to say, I saw Nick yesterday. He's like right across from our Sirius XM booth.
All right, cool. Welcome back. Hour number 2 of Off the Bench, live here from Radio Row at the Super Bowl. Shout out LeBaird's Casino Hotel Baton Rouge for sponsoring our coverage of the event. Very fun to be here. Very blessed to be here as well. We got a few more minutes with Jake before we send him off to go host Super Bowl Radio, which you can catch 9 to 12 on Sirius XM 106.
But we don't want you to turn it off the bench, so you can catch it on the Sirius XM app anytime.
There you go. There you go. All right, so a few things to get here. Okay, real quick. I don't have much to say here beyond it's kind of like, Jake, one of those situations. You know how they say, guys could just sit around and pluck random sports names and
like
be
random
happy.
receivers.
Yeah, and like Mark Chumar, right? Tight end for the Green Bay. I just did this basically. Well, LSU has hired Tim Rattay as an offensive analyst, dude.
Tim Rattay.
Tim Rattay,
Number
dude.
13 in your program, number 1 in your heart. I did see this late, and let me tell you, a young Jacob Hester growing up in Shreveport, Ruston being right down the road, him to Troy Edwards when they played against Nebraska. He threw for like 500 and something yards. Now, they lost the game, but that's when Nebraska was Nebraska. I was a massive Tim Rattay fan. And so, like, this really, like, brought some great memories from childhood when I saw this news.
So the Nebraskan, that's your favorite Tim Rattay memory. I don't even have Tim Rattay memories except that I just know the name. Like, I don't have any great conversational follow-up here, except say that Tim Rattay's been hired as offensive analyst, as Jake said, alluded to, former Louisiana Tech quarterback. Coached at Louisiana Tech with Joe Sloan, so it makes sense in why he was brought in. He has been at Oklahoma State as the quarterback coach the last 5 years, so basically he's just been working with Alan Bowman. Got to be pretty excited to get with Nuss here. And he's done time in the NFL and whatnot. Used to coach for the Niners. So I think, look, here are maybe the takeaways here. This is a good quarterback, offensive football mind who's spent a lifetime in the game.
Yep.
And he has Louisiana ties, which continues the theme of this entire coaching staff, which I believe now, and I think Moscona made a segment on this, but I believe now, Jake, almost every single coach, top to bottom, has some sort of Louisiana ties. So it took Brian Kelly maybe a bit longer to get here. After everybody when he was first hired was saying, like, you have to have this, you have to have this. But now, they have, again, everybody has some sort of ties to the state of Louisiana.
Which I think is very important. It's a unique state, and it is somewhere where you have to have that. You got to be able to walk in any high school. You got to be able to know the lay of the land. North Louisiana is different than South Louisiana. South Louisiana is different than Southwest Louisiana. I mean, there's different pockets. Northeast Louisiana is kind of its own place. And so there's different pockets, kind of different personalities as well. But you have to know all of them because you got to hit corner to corner. You got to hit Shreveport. You got to hit Monroe. You've got to hit Lake Charles, Lafayette, New Orleans, Baton Rouge, Houma. Like, you have Alexandria. You've got to hit the entire state. You can't just focus on one part of the state. We've had coaches in the past that I think did too much of focusing only on South Louisiana, but you have to understand the entire state. So now you add somebody that understands the north portion of the state. Tim Rattay spent a lot of time in Ruston, Louisiana, and so I think this is another great hire. And by the way, I got to get this off. He was 46 of 68 for 590 yards against Nebraska in 1998.
God. 68 passes and 98?
Troy Edwards, shout out Shreveport, threw one great. 21 catches for 405 yards.
Damn. Yeah, so he was Louisiana Tech wide receivers coach, then quarterbacks coach. Then he was the Commanders quarterback coach. And then after that, for the past 5 years, he's been the Oklahoma State quarterback coach. Of course, he's he played in the NFL for the Niners for 5 years, Tampa for a couple, and it looks like that's it. He finished up for 2 years with the Las Vegas Locomotives.
Oh, is that the – hold on.
That's actually where he started his coaching career as well.
The league – wow, what was the name of that league?
Let's see here. I'm in a Wikipedia. Click the blue link hole. The United Football League.
Oh, so it was the UFL.
The UFL's back. He's in the Louisiana Tech Hall of Fame. He holds several NCAA records, but what are the records? My blue link is not working.
So he was like, this was somebody that was, I think Gary Croton would have been the head coach.
How about this? Rattay's one of only 3 seventh-round or undrafted quarterbacks since '95 to pass for more than 400 yards in a game. So he had he had at least one really badass NFL game.
Yeah.
Can you name the other 2 seventh-round or undrafted quarterbacks that throw for more than 400 in a game?
Is Billy Bullock one of them?
It's actually not. No, surprisingly so.
I know Billy might have been drafted then because I know
Tony Romo.
Tony Romo's definitely
one. Yep. Who replaced Tom Brady when he got hurt?
Matt Castle.
Matt Castle. Rattay broke the Niners team record for most completions in 2004 when he completed 38 passes, breaking Joe Montana's record of 37. I kind of doubt anybody's broken that record, right? I mean, who after Jeff Garcia I don't think would have. Is there a chance that Tim Rattay holds the 49ers record for most completions in a game? Steve Young obviously doesn't. He was already done. He broke Montana's record.
Maybe Alex Smith. Maybe.
Tim Rattay's the only quarterback in NFL history to throw 3 consecutive passes that all went for touchdowns. He did for the Cardinals in 2007. And he was responsible for the biggest comeback in Bucs history when he led the team back from coming down from a 21-point third-quarter deficit against the eventual NFC champion Chicago Bears. In 2006, went for 3 tutties.
Let's go, Timmy.
In the fourth quarter. And then won in OT.
I think this is a – look, I love this.
Good hire,
I think it's a good addition to the staff. Again, the Louisiana ties and all of that, and I'm sure he's got a relationship with Joe Sloan because Joe was at Louisiana Tech, and I'm sure that they've crossed paths before. I'm sure him and Blake Baker know each other as well. So you add somebody like that to the staff to work with quarterbacks, like that just feels like an added bonus to what you already have, and I think it's a great move. I think it makes all the sense in the world. This is somebody that has done it on multiple levels. He's been very successful, I think, in his coaching career, certainly as a player, as we're laying out all the accolades that he had there. So an analyst, like, yeah, absolutely. Sign me up for all of Tim Rattay being an LSU Tiger.
Yeah. So, look, I mean, you know, we're having fun, like, going down and looking at some of the random accomplishments of Tim Rattay, but again, that is a long-time NFL quarterback who's got straight into coaching when he's done. That's a really good offensive mind to add to the mix to help out Joe Sloan. Because right now, if we're being completely honest, Joe Sloan feels like the weakest link of the coaching staff. Now, you could say that that's really a credit to the staff, and I would agree with that. Because it does, like, I think LSU, that is maybe the single greatest strength on the team that it has, is that top to bottom, from the position coaches to coordinators to everybody. I think they're super strong everywhere. Sloan's kind of the only one that's maybe called into question. But now you add Alex Atkins, who brings a ton of line experience, a ton of offensive experience. I mean, just 2 years ago, coordinating one of the best offenses in the entire country. You bring in a Tim Rattay. Like, you're adding a lot of excellent offensive minds to help in this collaborative effort.
Yeah, so when you look at total offense, they were 47th in the country. And I think
that's interesting.
I think where they were in the passing game, you feel great about it. But it has to go up in the run game.
And Atkins could help you there, I feel like, right?
I think so as well. So we talked about it during the season, T. You had co-offensive coordinators, one a quarterback coach, one a receivers coach. And so I'm not saying that they were only working on passing game. Obviously, they're working on the run game as well. But it is something where, hey, get somebody in there that is going to be run game specialists, you know, like a run game coordinator, an offensive line coach, a tight end coach is usually somebody in there. And so I think that is important because 47th right now in total offense, but I think when you look at the passing stats, they would be probably around the top 15 in total offense because they did really well throwing the football around. So I think it is the run game, being able to integrate all those different runs that we talked about, not just running inside zone, getting the offensive line to do their part as well, having a fully healthy Caden Durham I think is going to be important. So that number from 47, it should very easily, in my opinion, be in the top 25.
I agree. It has to be.
It has to be if you want to get to where you want to get to, which is the college football
Matt
playoff.
Matt Flynn says, what is this false stat? I'm pretty sure I was a 7th-round pick. I mean, true, right?
Yeah, and I think
it's 7th-rounder undrafted quarterback since 1995, and they're only giving Matt Castle, Tony Romo, and Tim Rattay credit. I'm sorry, Matt. I don't know, bro.
Because Matt had one game where he had a bazillion.
Yeah, Matt's got a little bit of Tim Rattay in him in that, like, he owned those Packers records, right? You've had Bart Starr, Brett Favre, Aaron Rodgers, and yet Matt is the single game, I think, touchdown leader, maybe single game yardage leader. It's very close.
I know my guy Billy Volek threw for.
He definitely threw for over 400.
He threw for 492 in a game with the Titans versus the Raiders on December the 19th, 2004. And he was undrafted. I just checked.
See, kids, this is why your teachers tell you that you cannot trust Wikipedia as a citable source for your term papers. Good. Yeah. See, look at our guy Flynn. Great job, man. Just making sure that the truth comes to light.
The best part about it, when Flynn says, "I'm pretty sure I was a 7th-round pick,"
dude, like, he might not really.
He might not know where he was selected.
I agree.
Like,
he'd be the only.
If it was anybody else, I'd be like, "Yeah, come on." He might not know.
All right. When we get back, let's go ahead and talk about the report that The Guardian had on the New Orleans Saints and their involvement and covering up some of the Catholic Church's crimes. More Off the Bench coming up next.
Off the Bench.
Remember, guys, every single day here on OTB, we are proud to be brought to you by our friends at All-Star Toyota of Baton Rouge. I actually went by All-Star yesterday. Jake got a flat. Needed some last-minute help, right, with the schedule and everything, being back and forth this week. I was like, oh, my God, I really have to take this care of him. Well, got immediately into the service center, which opened all makes models, and they immediately got it in. So okay, we don't have a tire. We have to order a tire. That's fine. What I do, hit up Miss Lisa Sessions. Bing, bada, boom. Next thing I know, I'm in a rental 25 Sienna, rolling large. Car's going to be ready today. I'm picking up. That's the level of service that you get from All-Star Toyota. The turnaround, they're the absolute best. Go to allstartoyotabatonrouge.com today.
I've not heard bada bing, bada boom in a long time.
Bada bing, bada boom, ipso facto, bing, bang, boom. Explosives, zip, zing, zoom, za. Whatever happened to Jonathan Gannon? I haven't thought about the Cardinals
thought about
in
him in a
years.
very long time. But think about All-Star Toyota of BatonRouge.com.
At Bayou Automotive, we believe in a sales process that puts you first. We want you to experience an easy purchase with clear pricing and great service. Let Bayou Ford and Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram be your trusted partners in finding your perfect vehicle. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
Got chores that need some extra muscle, but a large piece of equipment is overkill? That's what John Deere compact utility tractors were made for. Powerful enough for the work you need to do. Compact enough for how you need to do it. Find the equipment that's right for you at Sunshine Quality Solutions. Check out our current promotions and learn more about what it means to be powered by sunshine at sunequip.com.
Jerry and Benny Payne began Central Plumbing Company out of their driveway in Tanglewood subdivision. 50 years later and 4 generations down the road, we continue to serve Baton Rouge and the surrounding areas for all of their plumbing needs. Residential, commercial, industrial, or hospitality, Central Plumbing is here 24/7, 365.
We want to thank our customers, family, and friends for 50 years of success.
And looking forward to 50 more.
At Auctioner, we know healing is a team sport. That's why we've partnered with world-renowned orthopedic surgeon Dr. James Andrews to create the Auctioner Andrews Orthopedics and Sports Medicine Institute. Whether you're a professional athlete or a weekend warrior, our team of specialists are dedicated to getting you back in the game. So whatever your reasons are for reaching your personal best, we've only got one: you. Auctioner Andrews Institute. Long live you.
Crime has serious consequences, but anyone can make a mistake. If you find yourself in trouble with the law, know that you have rights, and it's okay to demand them. The law offices of O.C. Brown are here to protect you and your rights. Felony or misdemeanor, DUI or drug charge. No matter what crime you're accused of, you still have rights. Let the law offices of O.C. Brown uphold them. Call 225-343-1111. Your law firm for a lifetime.
At Atmos Energy, our Smart Choice solutions help customers save energy and emissions with rebates up to $500 off high-efficiency natural gas appliances.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. Live from Super Bowl 59 Radio Row in New Orleans. Presented by L'Auberge Casino Hotel Baton Rouge.
That's right. Brought to you by L'Auberge Hotel Casino Baton Rouge. Coming up next, we're going to talk to Coach Mulkey, but right now we have to talk about a story that has been making the rounds recently. So my guy Ramon Vargas, who I used to back when I was first starting here in New Orleans, he was writing for, I believe, the Times-Picayune, and he's a very good journalist. He would go on to be an investigative reporter for The Guardian, and he's been working on this story for a while, looking at the Saints' involvement in covering up, softening the blow of part of the Catholic Church's, the local chapter of the Catholic Church's sex scandals, in which we all know at this point. I mean, the movie Spotlight won Best Picture for a reason, because the Catholic Church had a lot of sexual abuse of minors going on and was covering it up and was shuttling guys around to different spots, trying to kind of make their past be hidden and allowing them to continue to work. Now, the allegations against the New Orleans Saints, and of course, look, if you know the Saints' history, Gail Benson is a very devout Catholic, as are many in the city, and she has a very close relationship with the Archdiocese here in New Orleans. And when the Archdiocese and everybody else was getting in trouble here in, it seems, okay, I think as the story pertains to the Saints, I think it is twofold, Jake. First, when everything was going down, the New Orleans Saints and Greg Benzel, their head of communications, got very involved in crisis communications, like coordination, right? Like helping out the Archdiocese and the church and everything. How do you respond to these stories? Applying pressure on media to paint them in a positive light, things like that. Maybe the most damning allegation in this story is that the Saints went so far as to remove names, because when the church gets caught, the Archdiocese says, look, this is awful, and Greg Benzel tells him, look, I think the best strategy here is to be open and honest and put out a list, all this other stuff, like a list of people who more than likely engaged in this behavior. Well, the Saints are now, it's being alleged that they got the list ahead of time and that they specifically asked for some names to be removed from the list. We have actual records of that communication taking place, but everybody involved is saying, I don't remember that happening, right? That did not happen. Here's my read on all of this. It is disgusting, but unsurprising. It is the movie Spotlight, right? You see a ton of powerful people who all have vested interest in the church and want to paint the church in the best light despite these awful and horrific crimes. And I think it's gross that the Saints were so forward in trying to paint this in the best light and help out the church with crisis communications and apply a lot of public pressure to newspapers and news outlets to have the people involved, you better write a positive story. It's a lot of you better write a positive, but at the same time, crisis communications, so that is the job. And that's what Benzel does. It's a bit like a defense attorney. A defense attorney is a job, and you're going to defend awful people. And you're going to defend awful crimes, but it is your job. In that same way, that's kind of what being a crisis communications guy is. And so now I think some criticism is definitely warranted because Benzel went out of his way to get involved here. He wasn't paid for it. But it's I think that's really bad. And then obviously removing names is awful, but it just all seems too dense. And the allegations maybe not bombshell enough, I think, for any major ramifications to come from this.
I hadn't followed this story as close, and I'm kind of catching up, and I know it was a story before, and now it's kind of coming back right now, and I don't know it as much and trying to play catch up like I said, but the question I would have is why in the world, why are the Saints even getting involved in something
because
like
the
this?
boss.
I know, but it's just
because Miss Benson.
But I can't fathom what any scenario to play out to think this was going to be something positive. Like, it's just like, why are you getting involved in this? This is, I know that you are a religious person. I know Catholicism is your religion of choice, and I know it means a lot to you, but this is not something that you need to be involved in.
Yeah, but like you said, I mean, when you're a member of the church and it is such a core piece of who you are, and to be fair, you probably really believe in your local father, right? Like, if he's not on that list, you believe he did not do anything wrong. Maybe you even believe that he had no hand in covering everything up. If you really believe that, you're going to want to help him navigate this situation. And I believe Miss Benson probably believed that when it came to the Archdiocese and wanted to help him make it through this, paint the church in a more positive light. That's again, I just keep going back to Spotlight because it's the exact same thing, where the most interesting part about all of this is everybody who is supposed to be enforcing punishment here or going after them are also, for the most part, members of the churches who have a vested interest in wanting the church to kind of keep their nose as clean as possible and make it look like a few bad actors and not as widespread of a problem. I mean, the district attorneys who are supposed to be prosecuting the case are members of the Catholic Church. So, here's my deal. In the end of the day, it's gross, it's awful, but nothing's going to come of it because it's a bit too dense. The allegations are not bombshell enough, and there's just way too many varied, powerful interests at play. There's people at every single step along the way, again, who have vested interests in keeping, and looking out for the church that they are a part of. And I'm not saying like they're all
Does the NFL step in?
No, the NFL said that Roger Goodell was asked about it at the press conference yesterday, and he said that he believes that the Saints were not involved in anything more than just like an advisory role. So no, I don't believe so.
That's wild. I mean, the NFL will turn over 73 stones to make sure you didn't have a face mask in a game that didn't get called a penalty in the game, but they're going to find you for that. And then it just feels like they're kind of like, they're going to handle it.
But you know the difference there.
Protect the shield, I know.
Well, one is a player and one is one of the owners. I know. Like the owners, whatever the owners say goes. The owners are the bosses. Roger Goodell is nothing but a mouthpiece for the owners, a lightning rod for the owners, and the owners are literally the most powerful people on the entire planet. So, of course, like, no, they're not going to try to cannibalize one of their own. Is there behind-the-scenes pressure saying, what the hell are y'all doing? Why did y'all do this? Is there behind-the-scenes pressure to sell? I don't know any of that. Like, surely, but I don't think you'll ever get anything public to cry. Unless you had, again, you need something more digestibly damning.
Yeah.
Because you got to read, to really understand this, you got to read, for like a 30-minute article, essentially, and really dive into a lot of different names being thrown at you, a lot of different allegations, a lot of different kind of dry email reading. But yeah, I'm with you, Jake. The Saints just never should have involved themselves with this in the first place. The Catholic Church made their bed. They needed to lie in it. And if you were going to help them with crisis communications and you were going to get involved, you had to understand that these repercussions, which there may not be many at the end of the day, probably just ignore it and it goes away. But you had to know that this was going to come to light and that you were going to at least suffer a reputational hit, if nothing else.
Yeah, I guess I'm just surprised by Goodell's answer and maybe not, making sure they do their due diligence. But you're right. Unfortunately, the 32 owners, anytime Roger Goodell would come speak to us as a team, we would have questions. We would have concerns. He basically was like, I'm not going to answer that because one of the 32 owners doesn't agree with you. Like during the lockout, it was awful. Like, why'd you waste your time and our time to come here because you're only going to give in to the owners? You don't care about the players. And not that this is a player issue. I'm just saying, like, he is going to look out for 32 owners, and that's all he cares about.
Danny Bass says, why would you advise something as disgusting as this? And then Leonardo says, T-Bob, any effort to minimize this and protect the image of rapists is evil? Shame on you. I Guys, I don't disagree. I had no hand in minimizing the Catholic Church. If anything, I've gotten heat for making Catholic Church jokes about it because people get very offended. If you're asking why, the why is not hard to understand. The church means everything to Miss Benson. Miss Benson has billions of dollars. She's very close to her diocese. She wants to make sure that their reputation of the church and the individual as a whole is as protected as possible. Like, that's not, again, I don't think those are hard dots to connect. Joey LeBlanc says, why does a priest go to a football team? This is also a thing that goes back throughout history, right? Go look at when Rome pulls out of Britain back in the day, and so civilization kind of falls. You have barbarians suddenly in charge. Well, who steps in and allies himself with those powerful interests? The church. And that's it. They become the educators. That's one of the reasons why they kind of rose to power in the way that they did. Like, the church aligning themselves with powerful interests is something that is a tale as old as time. So yeah, it's really gross. It's really gross. You're sitting here applying pressure to journalists and newspapers to paint things in a positive light when you're talking about covering up decades of sexual abuse. And knowing that there are abusers and moving them around, hiding their backgrounds, obfuscating, staying out of legal trouble, paying hush money, it's all gross. It's all gross. It's just my PR read on it that there's not going to be any major, that there's just not going to be anything major that comes of it. I mean, hell, the crazy thing I read, I didn't realize this, Jesuit High School was out there paying settlements silently for years and years. It's disgusting. It's disgusting. But that's the story, and that's how the Saints are involved. I don't know, I don't know, like, I don't know what else to say on it, except I don't support it. I think obviously
and nothing seems like it's going to come.
No.
Of it either, which is kind of wild.
No. Which, who knows? The Saints ownership as a whole is in a weird spot right now. A very odd spot. Long term, what happens? Of course, Dennis Lash is the executor of the Benson estate. There are plans to give everything away. What happens to the franchises? Who knows? Who knows? All right, when we get back, we're going to send Jake. Have a great show, man.
Thank you.
Have a great show. Jake's heading over to Super Bowl Radio. We'll be back with Coach Kim Mulkey next here on OTB.
Off the bench. Off the bench.
Guys, every single day here on Off the Bench, we are brought to you by our new friends at Pelican Roofing. Go to pelicanroof.com. PelicanRoof.com. You go to the website and you can right away use their instant quote tool, right? So you put your address in, satellite imagery finds your roof, you select what type of roof you want, if you're replacing it, whatever, and you get an instant quote. How about that? Remember at Pelican Roof, too, we have dedicated employees every single step along the way, which ensure a focus and dedication to your project, which gives you a level of customer service that you just, quite frankly, do not get elsewhere. That's why our tagline is quality through the roof, because it's a quality experience, it's quality work, it's quality pricing as well. Remember, we give 0% APR financing for up to 21 months now, which means you ensure that quality while also keeping the costs low. So go to Pelican today, right when you call them up. Again, people standing by answering phones 24/7 to get in touch with you immediately. The work is done immediately as well, and well, your roof is good to go. Baton Rouge, Lafayette, they're members of the community. They're glad to be here. So whether it's gutters, sheet metals, roofs, it's all at pelicanroof.com, pelicanroof.com.
Got chores that need some extra muscle? but a large piece of equipment is overkill? That's what John Deere compact utility tractors were made for. Powerful enough for the work you need to do. Compact enough for how you need to do it. Find the equipment that's right for you at Sunshine Quality Solutions. Check out our current promotions and learn more about what it means to be powered by sunshine at sunequip.com.
Jerry and Benny Payne began Central Plumbing Company out of their driveway in Tanglewood subdivision. 50 years later and 4 generations down the road, we continue to serve Baton Rouge and the surrounding areas for all of their plumbing needs. Residential, commercial, industrial, or hospitality, Central Plumbing is here 24/7, 365.
We want to thank our customers, family, and friends for 50 years of success.
And looking forward to 50 more.
At Ochsner, we know healing is a team sport. That's why we've partnered with world-renowned orthopedic surgeon Dr. James Andrews to create the Ochsner Andrews Orthopedics and Sports Medicine Institute. Whether you're a professional athlete or a weekend warrior, our team of specialists are dedicated to getting you back in the game. So whatever your reasons are for reaching your personal best, we've only got one: you. Ochsner Andrews Institute. Long live you.
Crime has serious consequences, but anyone can make a mistake. If you find yourself in trouble with the law, know that you have rights, and it's okay to demand them. The law offices of O.C. Brown are here to protect you and your rights. Felony or misdemeanor, DUI or drug charge. No matter what crime you're accused of, you still have rights. Let the law offices of O.C. Brown uphold them. Call 225-343-1111. Your law firm for a lifetime.
At Bayou Automotive, we believe in a sales process that puts you first. We want you to experience an easy purchase with clear pricing and great service. Let Bayou Ford and Bayou Chrysler Dodge.
I'm so happy, 'cause today found my friends are in my head.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. Live from Super Bowl 59 Radio Row in New Orleans. Presented by L'Auberge Casino Hotel Baton Rouge.
Hey, what's going on, y'all? Welcome back to OTB, and it is Tuesday at 8:30, which means one thing. We are the luckiest show in the entire state as we are joined by LSU head women's coach, the legend, Coach Kim Mulkey. Coach, what's going on? How are we doing this morning?
Well, I'm working while you guys are in New Orleans playing. Y'all
Yep.
act like there's some big something going on this weekend.
Yep, the grind never stops for you. For us, though, we get to come out here to the convention center, see all the madness as the football world descends upon the 504. I mean, I know you're no stranger to these sorts of events, given that you've been to countless Final Fours and national championships. This is my first Radio Row. I think it's pretty awesome. Coach, do you have any Super Bowl memories, like growing up, maybe going to? Do you have any Super Bowl memories that stand out in your mind?
Well, I don't have just one. I'm trying to think, I've never in person gone to a Super Bowl. I tried to, tell the SEC don't have our game with Tennessee leading into the Super Bowl because I knew they would for ratings. I knew they would. And so even if I wanted to come over there, there's no way I could make it because our game is at 3 o'clock that day.
Damn.
But I do watch the Super Bowl. I mean, I just, I go back to the Montana days with the 49ers and, love that. And, if I tell you all the ones I like the most, then I'm really going to date myself.
What are the old school Niners teams? Is there anybody else that breaks through? What about a young Coach Mulkey growing up, little girl? Like, when did your sports consciousness come online?
My sports consciousness started sitting in the front of those old RCA TVs, that you turn the channel. But I was watching Nadia Comaneci in the Olympics when I was like 12 years old. And I thought, golly. And it just, I always watch sports. You can't help but talk about Terry Bradshaw and Franco Harris and the reception.
Yep.
What they call it, the Immaculate Reception.
Yep. One of the best all-time plays.
And, of course, I watched O'Tilly all the time, not necessarily in the Super Bowl. Roger Carr, all those Louisiana Tech guys, and it just I love sports, and I'll rush home, hopefully after a win, because I won't enjoy it if we lose to Tennessee, which we can because they're very good. But I'll rush home and I'll watch it, and y'all just enjoy it, man. Eat some good po' boys while you're in New Orleans.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, Coach, I think I'm going to, for the game itself, it's my birthday. I just want to watch it at home with the family, you know?
I know, because then you can get real and you can get fun and you can scream and holler. And if you don't really have an invested interest like a son playing or a brother or a dad, you probably will enjoy it. It's when you've got connections where you just your stomach's in knots.
Well, okay, so I want to ask you about that then. And I'm sure like when you're watching someone, it can be that you have a vested, it can almost feel a bit more helpless. But what about when you're coaching or playing in one of these championship games? What is your process like to kind of not make it, how do you handle the pressure?
You live in pressure. I crack up at these doctors when I had my heart issue or when I've got something going on, they go, oh, that's stress. And I'm like, I will never buy anything in my body or on my body is related to stress. My body knows nothing any different. And so it's not a thing that's any different than how you live your life every day, being in sports or some of these jobs that are so stressful. That's what you choose to do. So, those guys that are in the Super Bowl and they do that every day. It's not any bigger in their world, even though it's more magnified by television and media. That's what they do every day.
Coach, what's more stressful for you? Coaching in a national championship game or watching Kramer in a big game?
Well, what it is, it's a love that's different. And it's not just your own kids. It's anybody that you love. You want them to know what that euphoric feeling is that you got to experience in your life as a player and as a coach. I cannot tell y'all when we won it at LSU and we won it at Baylor, my enjoyment is watching people celebrate for the first time. You can't describe it. And that's when my kids are playing, and I hope my grandkids, but whatever they do, you just want them to have that one moment in their life where they go, there's nothing like it.
That's kind of an amazing answer, Coach. I got goosebumps. I've never really considered that. It's almost like, you think about Christmas and when you give a gift that somebody really loves and how great that feels. That's like the ultimate realization of that.
It is.
That's incredible.
T-Bob, it really is. And people that know me, I'm a giver. I don't want people to know I give. I don't want people to know when I donate money. That's not it. But I take great pleasure in just surprising family members or sending something and won't even sign my name. That is so enjoyable for me.
Wow.
And I'm better at doing that than receiving. Like, people want to compliment you and say all these wonderful things. And I struggle with that. But I sure like giving. I like just giving you something that you didn't expect was going to happen. And some people are just different.
Coach, so to the basketball now, it was a pretty wild week since we last talked. It was a couple days before Oklahoma, whiteout, top 15 matchup. Knew it was going to be an incredible environment. Starts a little chippy. I got to say, Coach, I think the referees were soft here. I mean, it's a push. The girl was a bit off balance. And then for the other girl to be ejected for the pushback, I don't know. I guess, you want to keep it under control. I say let him play, but whatever. The game gets crazy. There's that drama, people getting kicked out. You get teed up for looking at the scoreboard. There's the crazy comeback at the end. Were you exhausted by the end of Thursday night?
Yeah, I'm exhausted every game. But let me clarify the fighting rule. And if you'll remember back in the SEC tournament with Cardozo for South Carolina pushed Flagey, and I even said at the time, that's not a fight. That is a shoving match. But it is identified at least it is in women's basketball, that will be considered a fight. So when they got ejected, I was not surprised. However, I think Coach Jenny for Oklahoma, being new in the league, she was like, "That's not a fight," and I said, "They consider that a fight." So we saw that. You saw 2 ejections. You saw each coach get technicals. You saw a flagrant upgraded. You saw another technical because there were 2 flops. You get 2 flops in a game, and they will give you a technical. You saw just about everything in a basketball game, and 107 to 100 points. I'm like, where's our defense, guys? But I'm not gonna go in the locker room and really rehash that game. I did not show film of that game. We had to move on.
Oh, wow.
And that's unusual for me, but I felt like there would have been too many possibly negatives that would have been corrected and said, and I didn't want the atmosphere in the film room to be that way. I wanted to prepare for the next one, and we did.
Well, and to be fair, Coach, when you look at how your team responded the next game defensively, especially Flage shutting down. Oh, I'm blanking on her name, but she had just dropped 40 the game before. Mississippi State's leading scorer. Flage holds her to 9. You come back, you beat Mississippi State, a comfortable 81-67. What did your team show you in their defensive response after giving up the late Oklahoma surge and the 100 points?
Well, what do you have? We had A&M, Oklahoma, Mississippi State, and 3 games at home. And the first priority is to take care of your home court, and we did that.
Mm-hmm.
Now, you're talking about Jordan. Jordan from Mississippi State is actually a New Orleans player, so we're very familiar with her. And I don't do social media, so when we went to the press conference, they were talking to Flage about her defense and how good she played. Well, she just opened up and talked about how personal it was for her because I guess here we go again on social media. Some things were said about her being little 4 instead of big 4 after a loss. And so I just was laughing under my breath like, you know what? I might need to use this every game. I might just get somebody to do a fake post. Is that what you call it?
Yeah.
And just get in Flage's head so that she'll play defense like that.
Coach, do you find, and this is interesting to hear you talk about this, because when you think about Flage, she's so famous, and of course, everybody wants to snipe at the queen, right? The top dog. That's just like that's just kind of natural human instinct. Do you find that with your profile and how much you've dealt that in your life, do you find yourself as a great resource for these young women when it comes to handling all of that?
You know, this is just the truth, guys. I don't have social media. And I think those kids, my players, see more crap about me than I even know's out there.
Yeah.
And I don't even know I don't address it because I don't know about it. And yet they stay on social media. And so when I get something, whether it's from Kramer or my daughter Mackenzie or my coaches, I just like, well, there's another lie. Well, there's another hater.
Keep it moving.
And so when I just like, I don't care. But I do think sometimes laying in bed, my poor little players, they read all that. But because we're with each other every day, because they know Kim Mulkey, I have to know that they've learned what's hate, what's fake news, what's whatever. So I don't even think about it.
Coach, I got to say, one of the funniest moments in the Oklahoma game was you getting fired up, slapping the clipboard down, Simone with the perfect comedic timing, not moving. Did y'all discuss the clipboard incident after the game?
Oh, well, it wasn't after the game, but certainly I love that child like she was my own, and I didn't realize I did that. I've done that to Johnny Derrick through the years, but what you make sure of, Simone is a legend. Simone is loved by everybody around the country and in Baton Rouge, and I made sure we had a conversation. You bet we did.
Oh man, I thought everybody played it perfectly. I could see, Coach, you were just fired up. But what had you so fired up at the time?
That's where I got my technical.
Yeah.
I got my technical, I think, from across the court, and Coach Bob jumped up, and I was going with him, and the clipboard was there. I had no clue if it was Simone, anybody else. It just was in my way, and I just popped it real hard. And I I shouldn't have done that. It didn't look good. And looking back on it, I just wanted to make sure Simone was okay because it wasn't directed at Simone at all. Johnny Derrick and I had a conversation. He's my coach that retired, and he said, Kim, you did that twice to me. You squeezed my legs before. It just happened just to be right there. And it looked bad, and I certainly, I wanted to make sure, and Simone and I, had a conversation. I love that child.
Well, there you go,
She's
guys.
not a child now. She's 40 years old, but nonetheless.
Legend. Statue.
Yes, she is.
Well, you are as well, Coach. I mean, that's the craziest part. You're talking about 2 Hall of Famers on the bench every night for this Tiger basketball team. What a setup. And congratulations, another very successful week after we talked to you again. The massive win against Oklahoma Thursday, come back, hold and serve against Mississippi State on Sunday. Now you got Mizzou hitting the road this Thursday, and then this Sunday, pack out the PMAC, 3 p.m. This very unique Tennessee team that runs these crazy styles of these almost hockey-esque shifts going to be in town. Best of luck this week, Coach.
Y'all behave. Don't get in any trouble in New Orleans. As my mama would say, don't do anything I wouldn't do.
If my father said that, I don't know how much that would mean. But your mother, I'm sure that's a much higher moral standard. You have a great day, Coach.
Y'all take care. Bye-bye.
All right. When we get back, wrap it up hour 2 of OTB.
Off the bench.
Hey, guys, want to remind you about our friends at Pinnacle Exterior Construction, PECbuilt.com, PECbuilt.com. You want to build the outdoor kitchen of your dreams and just an outdoor living area, you're kind of grilling, chilling, whatever. Maybe you need a bigger, better fence. You want to put turf in your backyard. You never have to worry about grass again. You want to do a putting green. All of this is at Pinnacle. You go to PECbuilt.com, guys. Go look at the gallery and look at the quality of the work, the artisanship, because that's where I believe that Pinnacle actually separates. These are bespoke. There's an attention to detail, an architectural beauty that you don't get from a lot of run-of-the-mill guys that are just kind of throwing whatever out there just to get it done. I mean, and that's not even get into the customer service, how they lay out all your selections, your designs, the turnaround time on the work, all the way through on cleanup. Like, they're the best. But again, it is the quality that I believe separates more than anything. Go to PECbuilt.com. Go to Pinnacle Exterior Construction.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
At Auctioner, we know healing is a team sport. That's why we've partnered with world-renowned orthopedic surgeon Dr. James Andrews to create the Auctioner Andrews Orthopedics and Sports Medicine Institute. Whether you're a professional athlete or a weekend warrior, our team of specialists are dedicated to getting you back in the game. So whatever your reasons are for reaching your personal best, we've only got one. You. Auctioner Andrews Institute. Long live you.
Family owned and community driven.
Service Chevrolet Cadillac, a legacy you can trust since 1972. Service Chevrolet Cadillac, our family serving your family.
For over 50 years.
Got chores that need some extra muscle, but a large piece of equipment is overkill? That's what John Deere compact utility tractors were made for. Powerful enough for the work you need to do. Compact enough for how you need to do it. Find the equipment that's right for you at Sunshine Quality Solutions. Check out our current promotions and learn more about what it means to be powered by sunshine at sunequip.com.
Jerry and Benny Payne began Central Plumbing Company out of their driveway in Tanglewood subdivision. 50 years later and 4 generations down the road, we continue to serve Baton Rouge and the surrounding areas for all of their plumbing needs. Residential, commercial, industrial, or hospitality, Central Plumbing is here 24/7, 365.
We want to thank our customers, family, and friends for
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. Live from Super Bowl 59 Radio Row in New Orleans. Presented by L'Auberge Casino Hotel, Baton Rouge.
No, William Anthony, the state troopers are not coming to get me for the Texas Day Brazil incident. Though, again, questions must be asked. If Kanye's wife can do that publicly, why can't I go around, okay? And also, know that despite what my robot son T-Bot would have you believe on Twitter, I was not the man who went skinny dipping in the Bass Pro Shop. I was absolutely not me. And that picture is very misleading in more ways than one. Just like all of you, tiny hand, tiny feet people are also very misleading in more ways than one. But alas, this is my burden. She'll have to deal with it. Ask the bench, best king cake in the 225? I don't know. I'm not willing to throw my lot in with anyone. I think there are a lot of fantastic king cakes. I got to be honest, pretty much to a man, I like all the grocery store king cakes. I think all their bakeries do pretty damn good job. There's little elements here and there that I like better is about one over the other. But, yeah, I don't know that I have a number one with a bullet. I did go skinny dipping at a children's museum, though. That's not true, Alondra. My genitals were not exposed. Now, granted, everything but essentially was in my lower half, including just miles and miles of creamy thigh, enough to land a 747 on, but nothing beyond that. Yeah, team up, everybody come to the children's museum, just get the cannon to call Gail. True. Get Greg Bensel on the phone. Greg, look, I was creeping around the Children's Museum without pants on. I need some crisis management. I did see this. I didn't. There was a Canadian man who got arrested, and like it was a Christmas story with a tongue stuck to a pole, his phallus ended up getting stuck to the ground. Now, the internet started roasting him for maybe having a tiny phallus. But I'm going to say, guys, if it's frozen to the ground, what's a man supposed to do, okay? That's a tough look for our guy. All right, coming up next here on Off the Bench, Nick Underhill, live in person. He made it. I shamed him. He said he was getting here at 10. I shamed him. Here he is. Keep it locked, OTB.
Off the Bench.
I may have called him something that rhymed with witch, and yet here he is. Hey, guys, check it out. Go to yourgoodwood.com. If you actually, are struggling with a tiny phallus that got frozen to the ground, which, again, is very cold. That's not on you. We actually have penile enhancement treatments that you could check out. As I said yesterday, though, I look around this room, I see a lot of erectile dysfunction. It just comes with the radio game. But you know what else does? Advertising for fixes, okay? And that's where Goodwood comes into play. Because, look, you don't have to suffer from ED anymore. It's that simple, guys. Oh, I'm so embarrassed about it, though. Okay, so you're going to let your embarrassment continue to make you not fix the problem, which is going to create more embarrassment, and the vicious cycle continues? No, we're breaking the cycle, okay? Go to Goodwood, get your consultation, get it fixed, yourgoodwood.com.
At Bayou Automotive, we believe in a sales process that puts you first. We want you to experience an easy purchase with clear pricing and great service. Let Bayou Ford and Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram be your trusted partners in finding your perfect vehicle. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
The Windsor Senior Living Community in Mandeville, Louisiana is a beautiful, vibrant apartment community geared toward seniors. They are nestled right in the heart of Mandeville, where seniors live a more carefree lifestyle in spacious apartments with the peace of mind that comes from having a little extra help. Call the Windsor at 985-624-8040 to schedule a lunch and tour. Come see how the Windsor can be your passport to peace of mind.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
Got chores that need some extra muscle, but a large piece of equipment is overkill? That's what John Deere compact utility tractors were made for. Powerful enough for the work you need to do. Compact enough for how you need to do it. Find the equipment that's right for you at Sunshine Quality Solutions. Check out our current promotions and learn more about what it means to be powered by sunshine at sunequip.com.
Jerry and Benny Payne began Central Plumbing Company out of their driveway in Tanglewood subdivision. 50 years later and 4 generations down the road, we continue to serve Baton Rouge and the surrounding areas for all of their plumbing needs. Residential, commercial, industrial, or hospitality, Central Plumbing is here 24/7, 365.
We want to thank our customers, family, and friends for 50 years of success.
And looking forward to 50 more.
At Auctioner, we know healing is a team sport. That's why we've partnered with world-renowned orthopedic surgeon Dr. James Andrews to create the Auctioner Andrews Orthopedics and Sports Medicine Institute. Whether you're a professional athlete or a weekend warrior, our team of specialists are dedicated to getting you back in the game. So whatever your reasons are for reaching your personal best, we've only got one: you. Auctioner Andrews Institute. Long live you.
Crime has serious consequences, but anyone can make a mistake. If you find yourself in trouble with the law, know that you have rights, and it's okay to demand them. The law offices of O.C. Brown are here to protect you and your rights. Felony or misdemeanor, DUI or drug charge. No matter what crime you're accused of, you still have rights. Let the law offices of O.C. Brown uphold them. Call 225-343-1111. Your law firm for a lifetime.
When it comes to choosing energy for your family and your home, make the smart choice with natural gas. You can count on efficient and affordable natural gas to keep you comfortable.
Good morning. It's 9 a.m. here on Tuesday, February 4th. Today in Baton Rouge, you can expect cloudy skies with a high of 80 in hour 3 of today's show. Nick Underhill of New Orleans Football hops on the show at 9 a.m. Then at 9:15, we have some OTB mailbag. If you missed hours 1 or 2 of the show, you can catch it in the on-demand section at 1045ESPN.com. You can also follow us on Twitter or Instagram at OTB_ESPN and watch us on YouTube at the 1045 ESPN channel. Hour number 3 of Off the Bench, live from Radio Row in New Orleans for Super Bowl 59, starts now.
Let's go, baby, let's go! All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Jacob Hester and T-Bob Hebert.
Yeah!
Off the Bench with Jacob Hester and T-Bob Hebert.
Yeah, they said I gotta come off the bench.
Now, here's Jacob Hester and T-Bob Hebert.
Yo, what is going on, guys? Welcome back live here at Radio Row at the Super Bowl. Our coverage brought to you by LeBear's Baton Rouge Hotel and Casino. Shout out to LeBear's for having us out here. Been a ton of fun. And right now, it is my pleasure to, in person, get to hang out with one of our favorite guests, been a key part of the show for many, many years now, and that is Nick Underhill of New Orleans Football, Nick_Underhill. For as long as I've known Nick, morning person. He's kind of like the canon in that way. Morning person maybe hasn't been always the most apt descriptor, and yet I texted him this morning. I was like, hey, bro, I know you're set up by us. You going to be here in person? He said, no, I think I'm going to be there at 10 a.m. I said, you bitch. And then next thing I know, he said, you know what? Fine, I'll get up, I'll get moving. And here he is. Nick, what's going on, man?
Hey, man. Yeah, couldn't have it. Couldn't let that stand. You know, you got me on that one.
Dude.
Yeah, one word cut to the soul. I was like, I got to get up. I got to get up.
But the funny part is I just sent it as a joke, and then it actually worked. It changed it coming up. Let's go. So exciting time right now going on in New Orleans football as there's a ton going on with the New Orleans Saints. Let's start, though, before we get into anything maybe too Saints-specific. Last night, is that technically Senior Bowl? Or not Senior Bowls. God, we were there last week. Super Bowl Media Day going down. Heard it was insane. Wasn't it like 20,000 people like in the public there? Like, what was it like last night?
Yeah, it's gotten crazy. I mean, that used to just be like a normal event for the media. Like, you would go to it. It would just be middle of the day, people on the field, couple people at the podium. It's turned into a whole thing with there's a band playing, there's a light show, there's the Mario Davis like yelling things on a mic for reasons I didn't understand. Like it has gotten crazy. But my favorite thing I think about it is afterwards when you're leaving and you kind of walk through, there's like a media holding area, like everybody's eating and doing their work. And you look around and there's like the freaks that were out there that like had their whole body painted. Yeah. And there's just like Blue Man sitting there in a corner by himself, like his whole body painted like an avatar, like in a corner, like eating some chicken. And it's just like you got to have a lot of confidence to be able to handle the aftermath of dressing up to ask Jalen Hurts a weird question.
It is the beauty. It is one of the best parts of any NFL Sunday. And it's interesting, I think you actually see this more in the NFL than you do college, but the super fan, when he is removed from his natural environment, right? It would be like seeing a literal bull in a china shop. It's incongruous. Instead of being surrounded by other people cheering on the team, when you see him like at the stall taking a piss, like you see Whistleman and he's just walking in, like it's very odd when you see them out of their kind of home environment. And again, so I mentioned this convention center, the only time I've ever been here was for Comic-Con, multiple years. I used to love to come every year. I haven't been in a couple. I need to start coming back. But I'm always struck by how really all this is Comic-Con, but for NFL nerds.
Yeah.
And that's very much like the people who would have gone to last night to pay. So if you're going there as a public member, like you're just paying to watch people answer questions?
Yeah, I don't get the appeal. Like they pump in some sound from a couple of the podiums, but yeah, you're basically watching people walk around like for an hour. Like I don't quite understand it.
It is NFL nerddom.
Yeah.
The same way that somebody's like, yeah, I waited 2 hours and paid $100 to take a picture with Christopher Lloyd or something, which, whatever, shout out Michael. I love Chris. But, like, yeah, that's exactly what that is. It's just nerddom, which I appreciate and I like. Whatever you're nerdy about, lean into that. Love it. Enjoy it. So, Nick, yesterday on the McAfee show, Schefter saying what y'all have reported on, what everybody knew already, which is that essentially – Kellen Moore is going to be the guy in New Orleans.
Yeah.
Barring like a Billy Donovan-esque crying, I actually don't want to do this sort of change of heart, he will be the next head coach of the New Orleans Saints. Well, let's start here. I mean, you believe like that's the case?
Yeah, I mean, we've been covering him for 10 days as if he's the head coach of the Saints.
Yeah.
If you go to our website, the last 42 stories have Kellen Moore in the headline. If he's not the head coach of the Saints, I will be absolutely shocked. I think a lot of people will be absolutely – he's going to be the coach of the Saints barring a disaster. And if yesterday's headlines didn't create cold feet and there's no indication that it did, he's going to be – he's the head coach of the Saints. And, look, they're trying to play by the rules. Nobody's trying to have what happened to Arizona when they hired Gannon. The last time the Eagles were in the Super Bowl, they ended up losing, I think, a third-round pick because there was, like, improper contact or whatever. The language is very, very careful. Mickey Loomis told all the other candidates, we won't complete our process until after the Super Bowl. Well, if it was Mike Kafka, if it was Darren Rizzi, if it was Anthony Weaver, they hire him today.
They'd already be hired.
Yeah, it's done. So they're waiting until then. And then if you listen to Kellen Moore, it's, we really like how the process is set up, and then we can focus on the game and then continue it after. Like, it wasn't, I'm not into it. He said that line at least 12 times yesterday, too. I stood next to him for about an hour, and he just kept saying that over and over. But, yeah, Kellen Moore is going to be the next coach of the Saints, barring a disaster.
So, I won't. Okay, give me, and I'm sure if I'm sure you're already working on it. Have you started to beautiful mind every breath that Kellen Moore has ever taken up to this point? And
yeah.
how are we feeling? For those that don't know, Nick always has, it's one of the best parts about New Orleans on football, he has deep dives where he'll be like, I looked at every route run by this player over the past 7 years when it was inside the hashes, and here's what we have revealed, right? So what has the deep dive, like, how are you feeling about Moore's potential as a head coach?
Yeah, I like him. Look, I mean, I think if you look at him over the course of time, like, there's been multiple different offenses. In Dallas, it was a lot of pass concepts. And granted, like, I think the argument you can make against him there is that it was too cute, too creative, too, all those words people like to use.
I've been calling him a fancy pants passing lad. That's kind of what he was at the time.
Yeah, that's a great way to put it. It is. It's a great way to put it. But it was almost too much. And I think as you go into Philadelphia, the first couple weeks of the season, they kind of were leaning into that a little bit. And then he figured out what they had. We got Saquon Barkley and these massive guys on the offensive line, and they leaned into that. But the thing I like most about him, I think, is how he's kind of helped Jalen Hurts deal with blitzes. And I think as you watched him earlier in his career, there was a little bit of, like, panic in the pocket, not knowing what to do. And as the blitz comes, like, they have designed kind of these safety net outlets that have allowed him to kind of play with more confidence in there. And he knows where he's going. It's predetermined. Everything looks really well prepared. And they've been able to lean into that. And I think that ability to kind of blend with what you got and kind of look at your players and say, what can I do for them, and build around it. I think it sounds so simple. And it was kind of the thing with Taysom when Kubiak came in. It was like, why weren't you just doing this? Like, it's common sense. It makes sense to do it. Oh, you have Chris Olave and Rashid Shaheed. You should be a really vertical team. Why do you have Chris Olave running a crossing route over the middle where he can take these, like, huge hits? Like, that isn't his game. And it seems like Kellen Moore's a guy that can kind of lean into that stuff and build off it. And he wasn't a huge zone run scheme guy either. And then he gets to Philly, and you have these massive men that can just run. Yes, giants. And they lean into that, and they do that. So I think he's just somebody that's very adaptable, and I think that's kind of probably what his identity is as a coach, is someone that can just kind of play to his talent. He's willing to sit into these things. I'm sure he has his prototypes and all the stuff he wants to do. But if those things aren't available, he isn't trying to jam Cedric Wilson into a role. He's going to find what works for him and play off it. And I think that's what he's going to end up doing here. He seems really smart. Talking to him for a while, my big questions about him were kind of his leadership, how he would command a room. I think he's got enough personality. I don't think he's somebody that's going to come out and be like Rizzy or Dan Campbell or anything like that. But Kevin O'Connell isn't that type of person either, and it can work. He had an explanation for everything. He seemed well put together. I know with a player like Alvin Kamara that he's going to ask you 45 questions about every single thing about why you want this split on this play, and he feels like a person that's going to be able to answer those things. And I think if he can, he's going to be able to win over this room. I like the idea of it. I'm not convinced on anything. I'm not saying it's the right choice, but I think that he has a chance to be a good coach here.
Well, look, you went offensive and defensive, which I think is good. You went young, which is brings a certain freshness with it. It's got a bit of the lottery ticket sort of potential. The problem is, we had somebody in Mobile described us as the Saints opening as maybe the worst in 10 years, which maybe a bit hyperbolic, but because bad cap, aged roster, not a lot of draft capital, not like a great pick, no real quarterback plan. And so it's just, he's almost walking into a situation where it's like, if he does have success, you need to grade him on a curve and score him even higher because he's walking into a really bad spot. When it comes to quarterback, though, do we have any inklings, guesses, or insight as to maybe where he's leaning there?
He went out of his way to give Derek Carr a compliment.
Okay.
Yeah, like he. So there was a game at man, I don't know, his last year. He was a senior, and Boise beat Fresno 57-7. I believe was the score of that game. Kellen Moore.
Yeah.
He
We
murdered him.
we were talking about it. We were talking about it earlier on the show today.
So he got asked about it, and like
crazy.
It seemed like he was like, okay, I got a chance to kind of say something nice about Derek here. So it was like, yeah, we killed him, but man, Derek Carr, great career, great pro, great this, great that. I think theoretically, if we pulled up the salary cap, you can get rid of him, but you can't do anything else. I think it makes a lot more sense to kind of, if you're going to clean up your cap, to get rid of the old guys, and then a year from now, Derek Carr goes, and it's kind of a two-step process. I don't think you walk into the situation and just want to get rid of Derek Carr and then you can't do anything else. But I'm fine with either direction, honestly. Like, I'm fine with going completely in the tank, getting a higher pick, getting rid of him, and going that way. But I would be surprised if that's the way they go. I think it's probably more likely Cam Jordan pay cut, see if Tyron's still worth it, see if DeMario's still worth it. I think he is. Maybe clean up some of that other stuff, eat some cap, and then get rid of Carr a year from now.
Yeah, and it's the funny thing about Carr, man, right? I've never seen a player where the public perception versus the actual NFL guys are so at odds with one another, right? The public perception remains that Derek Carr sucks, he's absolutely awful, blah, blah. Well, everybody in the NFL is like, he's actually pretty good. He's not great, but he's like pretty good. I mean, he is the NFL Mendoza line. If your quarterback is better than Derek Carr, you're probably actually happy with him. And if he's worse than Derek Carr, then you want to run him out of time, you're done. And he is just living in that in-between.
It was the Cousins line, and he kind of
that's true. He kind of took it from Cousins.
Yeah.
Although I do take a lot of petty pleasure in watching the exact same thing happen to the Atlanta Falcons. Like, maybe the only difference is that, like, it feels like maybe Penix is going to end up being pretty good. But who knows? Like how do they feel about Rattler internally?
Yeah, I think people like him, but it's kind of the same thing that look, there's a lot more people talking now because everybody's gone.
Yeah,
but, like, it's the same. It's the same feeling I think we have about him out here. Is that, man, there were some really good things, but, like, on the flip side, there's no way of knowing. And what the hell was going on? Like, for whatever reason, he lost his cool in the second half of games, and he just couldn't keep it going. There's a lot of talk about the second half of the season too with Kubiak, like that maybe the players weren't necessarily, like, the system kind of, there were a lot of hits, there was a lot of injuries, a lot of things weren't working, and there was there's maybe a little bit of, like, buy-in early that wasn't there late, so some of that's kind of happened. I don't think that's the case with Rattler. Obviously, he would have been all in with it, but I think there was just some frustration with that offensive system, and it was the same things we were talking about. Like, wow, like, why don't they have a counterpunch for anything in the second half of games? And now you're in the second half of these games, and the players are kind of feeling the same way week after week after week. And I don't think you can keep going out there and doing the same things and not having answers for things that are fairly obvious problems. And so I'll be interested to see him get a chance in another system. And the thing with Carr, like, I think there are a lot of people around the league that view him as 20th best guy. I think the problem with Derek Carr, and the problem that I have with him, is that I think there's kind of some protection of self out there when he plays, and there's just been so much criticism on him over the years that I get it. But there are plays where you watch him, and it's, second and 4 to go for a touchdown, and he'll throw the ball away. And it's just like, what are you doing here? Like, the numbers are great. The quarterback rating is great. The interceptions are down. Like, it's counterintuitive kind of to look at it and say, like, well, I wish he threw a couple more picks, but I wish Derek Carr would be willing to throw a couple more picks.
Yeah, no, it's not. I mean, it's not unlike, to bring back what LSU fans will remember, like 2 years ago with Jaden Daniels, that was the entire thing. Like, even Brian Kelly's like, we need him to, like, protect the ball a little less.
Yes.
Like be willing to take a few more shots, a few more risks if he's really going to maximize what he can be. Nick, you alluded to earlier yesterday's story, and if that story was going to scare off Kellen Moore, then likely nothing would. We talked about it at length earlier. Our takeaway, again, is, look, it's why would you get involved?
Yeah.
I mean, I understand because it's your church and you want to, but just it's not smart to. I know, look, when you're in crisis communications, like being a defense attorney, you're just going to have to you defend evil stuff. Like it is the literal name, whatever. I guess my question to you is, does this have any lasting impact? Roger Goodell was very much on the same side yesterday, saying we don't think there's anything more than an advisory role. We kind of keeping it moving. Do you think there's any lasting impact on the franchise here?
It's a bad look. It's a terrible look, and I think it's something that'll, it's always going to get brought up to, when people want to discredit them and everything.
Yeah,
and look,
true.
Look, like I get being Catholic and everything. I'm at St. Stephen's every Sunday, but like the church could offer me the biggest bag of money to help them with this situation, and I would say no thanks.
Well, and that's the other thing, right? They weren't paid though for this.
Yeah, you know
right?
what I mean. I feel like if this happens, like if it were my
that would
my
be
brother,
more understandable in a way if it was like, oh well, they offered a giant bag and we had to, but no, this was Binzel on behalf of his boss, basically giving over his time for free.
You just got to say no though. Like if it's my brother comes to me, hey man, I'm just like, oh, good luck with that, man.
No,
you know
I know.
what I mean?
I know.
But yeah, look, I think it's a PR hit. I don't think there's going to be, I think Roger made it pretty clear yesterday. Once he kind of dismissed it, brushed it under the rug. Like there was some thought, are they going to lose a draft pick, anything like that?
Yeah.
Nothing. I thought there might be maybe some blowback on that front, just because like this story comes out on the first day of the celebration of the league in your city, and once he poo-pooed it, it was just kind of over. So, yeah, I think it's just kind of look, and it's been attached to their name for like 5 years now. So I just think it comes back, and then in a time where everything's down and people are mad and all that stuff, I think it's just a terrible look, and that's just really all it's going to end up being. It's just crazy. Like, it's football. Like, football shouldn't intersect with these types of things,
no.
and it's just crazy to get involved in it.
It's also a lot of money and a lot of power, and where those two things coincide, there's always a lot of potential for nastiness, and drama. So, well, Nick, thank you so much, man. New Orleans football guys, I tell you every single week, I'm a proud subscriber. The team does an incredible job of covering this team inside and out. If you want to know everything about Kellen Moore, about the Saints' current cap situation, the offseason, the upcoming draft, it's all at New Orleans Football. Go subscribe today. Nick, thank you so much, man.
Yeah, congrats on
the
number
7.
The top 10. Yeah.
Yes,
we're gonna get to number 1 next year.
Moving on up slowly, but I think we've gone from 13 to 9 to 7. So as long as we're not moving backwards, we're in a good spot.
You just got to tell the judge there's some B's, and they'll give you that number 1. It works.
That's what I'm saying, dude. Yeah. I mean, apparently though, Moscona, our own program director, voted Mac and Cube number 1. Freaking hoe, dude. All right, when we get back, more off the bench.
Off the bench.
There it is, the extra mile. On the border of expected and extraordinary for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
At Auctioner, we know healing is a team sport. That's why we've partnered with world-renowned orthopedic surgeon Dr. James Andrews to create the Auctioner Andrews Orthopedics and Sports Medicine Institute. Whether you're a professional athlete or a weekend warrior, our team of specialists are dedicated to getting you back in the game. So whatever your reasons are for reaching your personal best, we've only got one. You. Auctioner Andrews Institute. Long live you.
Got chores that need some extra muscle, but a large piece of equipment is overkill? That's what John Deere compact utility tractors were made for. Powerful enough for the work you need to do. Compact enough for how you need to do it. Find the equipment that's right for you at Sunshine Quality Solutions. Check out our current promotions and learn more about what it means to be powered by sunshine at sunequip.com.
Jerry and Benny Payne began Central Plumbing Company out of their driveway in Tanglewood subdivision. 50 years later and 4 generations down the road, we continue to serve Baton Rouge and the surrounding areas for all of their plumbing needs. Residential, commercial, industrial, or hospitality, Central Plumbing is here 24/7, 365.
We want to thank our customers, family, and friends for 50 years of success.
And looking forward to 50 more.
Crime has serious consequences, but anyone can make a mistake. If you find yourself in trouble with the law, know that you have rights, and it's okay to demand them. The law offices of O.C. Brown are here to protect you and your rights. Felony or misdemeanor, DUI or drug charge. No matter what crime you're accused of, you still have rights. Let the law offices of O.C. Brown uphold them. Call 225-343-1111. Your law firm for a lifetime.
At Bayou Automotive, we believe in a sales process that puts you first. We want you to experience an easy purchase with clear pricing and great service. Let Bayou Ford and Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram be your trusted partners in finding your perfect vehicle. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
Looking for the ultimate game day experience? Come to the Queen Casino in Baton Rouge. Wall-to-wall TVs mean you'll see every touchdown in HD. Place your bets and feel the thrill of every play with our DraftKings Sportsbook. The Queen Casino, where every moment is a win.
At Atmos Energy, our smart choice solutions help customers save energy and emissions with rebates up to $500 off high-efficiency natural gas appliances, smart thermostats, and weatherization upgrades. Together, we're fueling our energy future.
At Bayou Automotive, we believe in a sales process that puts you first. We want you to experience an easy purchase with clear pricing and great service.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. Live from Super Bowl 59 Radio Row in New Orleans. Presented by L'Auberge Casino Hotel, Baton Rouge.
Hey, what's up, y'all? Welcome back. OTB live on Radio Row. Here at the Super Bowl. Shout out to L'Auberge Hotel Casino. Just sir, dude. Watch out, guys. If anybody tries to come to say anything to me, I'm just going to say, hey, you're talking to the number 7 mid-market local morning sports talk show according to one outlet's opinion. Relax, guys, okay? Hey, I want to do OTB mailbag here a bit later than we normally do it. So go ahead and get your questions in the Bayou Ford YouTube at youtube.com/1045ESPN. And we'll answer them here in a second. Also, shout out L'Auberge Casino Hotel for sponsoring our coverage of the Super Bowl. Very excited to be here. And shout out for them sponsoring the Senior Bowl last week. Been a very interesting, very fun couple of weeks. Going to continue to only get more fun as this week goes on. Larry McCain says the timing of the scandal story, which was old news. The timing seems sinister to me. Well, look, to be clear, there were new developments. Right, the new developments being that the messages uncovered about the New Orleans Saints allegedly editing the list of offenders that was put out there and maybe removing names and whatnot. So there's a new wrinkle. But, yeah, look, timing is part of this, without a doubt. That's just how the business works. It's a Super Bowl. It's in New Orleans. Saints of the 4. Interaction is how profit is generated. It's one of the maybe uglier parts of kind of journalism for profit, but it doesn't change the story, right, or the facts of the story. But anyway. All right. OTB mail. Okay, actually, let's do this. We still have our Tay Anvil story of the day to get to. For now, let's go ahead and dive in to some OTB mailbag.
Special delivery! I have this special delivery for off the bench. And look, it is marked most urgent.
We'll be writing to you.
The internet. What the is the internet?
All right. right, here we go. Crystal says, hashtag OTB mailbag. Are you wearing that sweater every day this week? No, unfortunately, guys, it's just too damn hot. You know, I had an awesome sweater season. Even this Sunday, rocking the collared dress shirt underneath the sweater, the dad sweater, the Cosby sweater. It's been a great run, but if I were to wear it this week, I would spontaneously combust. I would be sweating my ass off. That's why I took off this blazer for basically half the show day. It finally cooled off a little bit, but I was starting to sweat in it. So no sweater day. Even though, don't let it get cold, okay? If we drop below 50, Cosby sweater's coming back in a second. But no, not right now. Let's see. Hashtag OTB mailbag. That's the only question we have. Jeez. What a disaster of a segment. This is my problem.
OTB mailbag. What has been your favorite thing about being on Radio Row at the Super Bowl so far?
Thank you, Alondra. Good save. For me, I don't know. It just kind of feeling the energy, looking around, seeing the different outlets, seeing how other places do things. But Alondra, you spent much more time here yesterday and made much more content here yesterday. So I think you're better suited to answering this question. What has been your favorite part of Radio Row thus far?
I have to agree with you. Like, the vibe is great, and just like the thought of like, oh, I'm on Radio Row at the Super Bowl is super exciting. But yeah, I mean, all the little setups that they have, like Bounty has this thing where you can throw footballs through targets or whatever. Yeah, they just have like a really good setup out there. But I'm just so excited, and I'm waiting, and I'm ready for the Pat McAfee show to show up.
So wait, were they not here yesterday?
No, they're not going to be there till Wednesday.
Oh, so this set is just set up all day for what?
Well, they were still setting it up yesterday too, so I think that they're just still working on it.
Be clear, the logistics of the McAfee studio setup is actually insane. I mean, they have recreated a full TV studio here in the middle of the convention center. I feel like I'm getting like behind the scenes look at Hollywood with the scaffolding that they've erected and everything to hold everything up. Hashtag OTB mailbag. What cheese blend are you putting in your mac and cheese? I don't really have a go-to. Obviously, cheddar's going to be in there. Probably some white American as well. After that, I mean, I could go with throw some Gouda in there. Hell yeah. I don't think a brie makes sense, right? I like my soft cheeses more in a charcuterie sort of setting. But, yeah, I mean, really anything, dude. You know, if it's a grilled cheese or it's mac and cheese, you just combine whatever cheeses you want. Doesn't matter. It's freaking cheese, guys. You know, it literally triggers I'm pretty sure I'm not making this up, but maybe. I'm pretty sure that cheese triggers like the same portion of your brain that like drug addiction does and whatnot. Hashtag go to mailbag. What's T-Bob eating in NOLA tonight? I will not be eating in NOLA tonight. I've been driving back. We got Pink Panda's first practice of the new soccer season tonight. So I'll be there. I think I'm going to start staying in town maybe Wednesday or Thursday. That said, Taylor did tell me about a hole-in-the-wall Chinese place in the French Quarter that I would love to get to eventually. But yesterday I just stopped and got a po' boy somewhere, and it was great.
So the place I was telling you about, it's on Decatur in French Quarter. I believe it's pronounced Denzin. I looked this up one time. I think that's how you pronounce it. It's spelled kind of weird. Phenomenal. Some of the best Chinese food I've ever had.
Hashtag go to mailbag. If your aura had a color, what would it be?
Amber.
Maybe like a purple? Or, I don't know. I'm not entirely sure. Teal? I don't know. Hashtag OTB mailbag. Will T-Bob show up hungover for this week? I will likely be hungover on Friday for sure. Maybe Thursday. We'll see. But I am going to Ron Jaworski's cigar party, tagging along, Coattails, Silver Spoon Kid and whatnot. And I'm going to tag along with my father on Thursday night to that party. So granted, come Friday, your boy's probably going to be hurting a little bit. Hashtag OTB mailbag. What was the event last night in the Dome? That was Media Day. Are you and Hester drive back and forth from BR every day? Yeah. So after this, do some more stuff here, wrap up, drive back, pick up kids from school, do all that stuff, put them to bed, and then I've been driving back at night after they go to sleep, and that's actually been, that's made all the difference. It's been great. Let's see. Hashtag OTB mailbag. Rivers, chat wants to know what our budget is for Mardi Gras beads. We got $3, guys. They gave us $3, and we paid $1 per bead. So we blew out the budget because we want to have just as big of a budget next year. But, yeah, $1 per bead. Are you wearing a cigar jacket to the lounge? I don't know. I don't have a cigar jacket. That sounds awesome, though. Hashtag OTB mailbag. You feeling imposter syndrome after number 7? Always. Always and forever. Let's go and cut the bead budget. I know. Daniel Blunt says, Pat built a studio and guaranteed brought 3 Mardi Gras beads. Hey, relax, guys. We got 2 tables. We got lights. We got a nice camera. We got 2 tablets set up back there. We got the Rodecaster. We got the Comrex. We got a little bit of a setup ourselves, dude. No, we need more beads. Objectively, we need more beads. I mean, we're right next door to Mardi Gras World, right? Like, this is a bit shameful, but you're right. All right, that's OTB Mailbag. When we get back, we got our Tay-Tay NFL store. Oh, look, Alondra's bringing more stuff. Thank God. Good call, Alondra. We got our Tay-Tay NFL story of the day coming up next here on Off the Bench.
Off the Bench.
Guys, go to trashrangers.com, trashrangers.com, and make the switch today. If you live in Livingston or Ascension Parish, you get to choose who handles your residential trash pickup. You want to go with our friends at Trash Rangers. And right now, we have extended the deal. If you make the switch, you can get it for half off. That's as low as $13.95 a month to get better service by the local guys who give a damn, who have 1,000 5-star reviews, who text you the night beforehand when it's your pickup day so you never forget again. Go to trashrangers.com today.
At Auctioner, we know healing is a team sport. That's why we've partnered with world-renowned orthopedic surgeon Dr. James Andrews to create the Auctioner Andrews Orthopedics and Sports Medicine Institute. Whether you're a professional athlete or a weekend warrior, our team of specialists are dedicated to getting you back in the game. So whatever your reasons are for reaching your personal best, we've only got one. You. Auctioner Andrews Institute. Long live you.
Got chores that need some extra muscle, but a large piece of equipment is overkill? That's what John Deere compact utility tractors were made for. Powerful enough for the work you need to do. Compact enough for how you need to do it. Find the equipment that's right for you at Sunshine Quality Solutions. Check out our current promotions and learn more about what it means to be powered by sunshine at sunequip.com.
Jerry and Benny Payne began Central Plumbing Company out of their driveway in Tanglewood subdivision. 50 years later and 4 generations down the road, we continue to serve Baton Rouge and the surrounding areas for all of their plumbing needs. Residential, commercial, industrial, or hospitality, Central Plumbing is here 24/7, 365.
We want to thank our customers, family, and friends for 50 years of success.
And looking forward to 50 more.
Crime has serious consequences, but anyone can make a mistake. If you find yourself in trouble with the law, know that you have rights, and it's okay to demand them. The law offices of O.C. Brown are here to protect you and your rights. Felony or misdemeanor, DUI or drug charge. No matter what crime you're accused of, you still have rights. Let the law offices of O.C. Brown uphold them. Call 225-343-1111. Your law firm for a lifetime.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
When it comes to choosing energy for your family and your home, make the smart choice with natural gas. You can count on efficient and affordable natural gas to keep you comfortable and reduce
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. Live from Super Bowl 59 Radio Row in New Orleans. Presented by L'Auberge Casino Hotel, Baton Rouge.
Yo, what's up, y'all? Welcome back. OTB Live. Why does everybody look at me when I yell? Relax, guys. We're on Radio Row, dude. Brought to you by L'Auberge Hotel Casino, Baton Rouge. Shout out to y'all for hanging out with us. Welcome back. Rivs, what's up? How is your Super Bowl Radio Row experience going thus far? Rivers Huey joining me now. What's up?
It's been great until I just let T-Bob touch my computer and just...
Yep. Yep.
He zoomed. I don't even know what he did. So, here we are.
Because look, I don't think I have a good joke actually. I don't know. Whatever. Look, guys. So the thing that I mentioned this Thursday, actually, it's the Ditka and Jaws cigars with the stars. That's too big now. You got to make it smaller. I tried to zoom in because I can't read, and then I made it too small. Whatever. The point is, though, guys, right now, if you want to go to the party, tickets are actually on sale. It's at Generations Hall, 8 p.m. to midnight this Thursday. If you use the code NOLA100, you get 20% off. So it's $500 a ticket. Use the code NOLA100. That drops down to $400. So you want to hang out with Jaws, Brian Urlacher. You want to hang out with a bunch of NFL legends for an evening of cigars, camaraderie, and anticipation for the big game? Go to Ditka and Jaws Cigars with the Stars. You can purchase tickets. His website's go to DitkaJawsCigars.com. DitkaJawsCigars.com. And if you use the code NOLA100, you'll actually help out us a bit. Show them that you came from here. And, you get 20% off. Right on. So, yeah, Rivs, Alondra said it. What was your favorite part of yesterday being out here amongst Radio Row?
I think just seeing all the people show up. Yesterday, I guess we were on, and we were here by ourselves, it felt like, for most of the show. Yeah. But then around like 9 or 10, people have started to trickle in. And then even today, about an hour ago, people started to trickle in. So every day it's getting a little earlier, but it just feels exciting.
It does, dude. The energy is palpable. You can tell that the entire world is descending upon this tiny little city of ours. And I just cannot fathom the fever pitch it's going to reach by Sunday. Guys, I want to remind you about Main Event Baton Rouge. Main Event Baton Rouge is your main place for fun. If you want to go play, do some professional level bowling, we got multiple lanes available. We got a multi-level laser tag arena. Are you kidding me? You got tons of arcade games. You got the gravity ropes course. You got great food, great drinks. And if you mention Off the Bench, you get an all-you-can-play 30-minute game card for free. Okay? So go ahead and mention OTB, get that game card, and then you buy an hour. All of a sudden, your kids are chilling for like 2 hours, dude. Have a great time. And the food's great, drinks great, newly revised menu. And remember, we got dedicated party planners on standby, ready to go. If it's like a birthday party, sales party, whatever, go to Main Event Baton Rouge. All right, Tay-Tay, it is time for an NFL story of the day.
It's time for Tay-Tay's NFL Story of the Day. Your daily dose of NFL news from Taylor Sharp.
All right, so we got two big potential trades that are probably going to happen. Defensive end and reigning Defensive Player of the Year, Myles Garrett, has officially requested a trade from the Cleveland Browns. Look, he said, I love this city. I've called it my home for many years. This was the team that drafted me, but my desire is to win a Super Bowl and play on the biggest stages. That can't allow me to be complacent. Just doesn't think it's in Cleveland. Shocker, he doesn't think he could win a Super Bowl in Cleveland. There's some breaking news for us. Also, somebody who did not request a trade, but looks like they're going to be traded nonetheless. The Los Angeles Rams have informed Cooper Kupp that they will be seeking a trade immediately. Kupp actually went to social media yesterday. He said, I don't agree with this decision. I always believed it was going to begin and end in the city of L.A., he did thank the city of L.A. and the Rams. They obviously had that Super Bowl run together. So two big-name players about to be on the trading block, Cooper Kupp and Myles Garrett.
Yeah, and opposite ends of the spectrum. As you said, Garrett forcing me out, Cooper kind of being pushed out. The Garrett thing is one of the funniest things I've ever read because although he tries to soften the blow, he's basically just like, look, Cleveland really sucks. Like, not the city, like the Browns. Like, the Browns really suck.
Do you think Cleveland's really cool?
I got to win. I think, okay, I'm a bit
like you were, like, defending Cleveland.
I'm a Cleveland defender. I'm a bit of a Cleveland defender. Not that I know anything about the city, but, like, we live in Baton Rouge, right? Sure, Cleveland's, again, I mean, it's got the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. It's got other cool stuff going on. Like, I don't know, man. I'm not trying to throw stones out of glass houses, is all I'm saying. And
I've been to Cleveland,
Rockefeller used to live
T-Bob. I've been to Cleveland. It sucks.
You went for a bachelor party.
He's like, I've been once. It sucks.
I don't trust, whatever. I don't trust Taylor's opinion. I am sure that Cleveland's great. I'm sure that Cleveland's great. I've never been, but I pray to you it's not that bad. But the Browns are. They're absolute garbage. And as Myles Garrett said in his statement, you know, I think he said to go from like Cleveland to Canton was never the goal. He wants to win championships, and obviously that's never going to happen with the Browns. On the Cooper Cup front, Taylor, is this just is this just Puka and him getting, you know, and younger guys? Like, what's going on here?
I mean, you could say that, but like I kind of thought Puka had a shot to be a flash in the pan. And I mean, he had, you know, almost 900 receiving yards this year. He missed a couple games, but Puka only had 3 touchdowns. I mean, I'm not sure he's their number one either. Cooper Kupp is under a big contract. He's 32 now. He's been hurt for 2 years in a row. I think it's time to move on from him. They're probably looking to get younger, see if they can get anything out of Matthew Stafford before he retires. Look, there are a lot of teams out there that could use a Cooper Kupp, though. One of them is in black and gold in the city you guys are in.
True. Do we think it's Cooper Kupp's face at all? I've never really been
done
a
a lot
fan.
of face talk today.
I know. I've never really been a fan
let's
of
see.
the Cooper Kupp face card, to be honest. He's got kind of and look, I'm not one to talk glass houses, as I just mentioned, because I used to have this way harder than Cooper, but he's got a little bit of like the Mormon beard going on with like a tight mustache. I don't think he has veneers, but he looks like he has veneers a little bit. His teeth, I feel, a little too big for his mouth. He's a beast, though. Don't get me wrong. Absolute dog. But I just wonder if the Cooper Kupp face is some reason.
But look, Sonny doesn't have the big beard.
No, he looks better without the big beard. I mean, I don't know, whatever. He's jacked. It works.
Yes, I think the beard is like it looks like it needs to be.
He just cleaned up a little bit, maybe.
I don't know.
Unless maybe it was a playoff beard. Playoff beards are tight.
You know about that.
I know. T-Bob, where is Ohio? It is
up
north, and I'm going to say, shockingly, in what I've learned in doing this show, I'm going to say Ohio is actually northeast of us. Is that true?
No. Yes. I mean, yes, right?
East, though.
Yeah.
Not west.
I think so, right?
Even though we call it the Midwest.
Yeah.
I'm saying it's actually northeast.
Because Illinois is right above us, right?
I think so. It's crazy. It's
Gotta
like the
be.
chef's hat or something, apparently.
Something about a hat.
So not to look, I'm right, says Alondra. Thank you, Alondra. So look, not to brag, but I'm learning, guys. I'm a work in progress, okay? We've never arrived. I love Daniel's suggestion for the desk, and Alondra, this should be on you because I know you love these things. We need to get plants. We just need to get a ton of plants. Just go full Galifianakis between 2 ferns and just have 2 giant ferns on either side of us.
Look, to defend the beads for a moment.
Rivers brought them.
I did, but after Mardi Gras every year and after St. Patrick's Day, I just throw all the beads away. I can't handle it. It's all over my house. I've got 2 kids.
I know. What are you supposed to do with them?
Much.
We held on to them for years, but then you
I'll
just keep
donate.
accumulating bags.
Our school takes donations of them. I'll send them off, but I don't want them in my house. But we went to a Mardi Gras ball this weekend, and I brought these home from that ball, and so that's all I had.
They're good throws.
And I was like, I don't know. I feel like some beads would be fun, but I didn't think about how it would just be the 3 beads.
It's just very sparse. It's like when you go and you.
Hey, but look, they light up.
It's like when something gets advertised.
Or maybe they don't.
No, it doesn't look like they did. It's a well-lit room.
It's tough.
But it's like, have you ever ridden on a ride or gone to a movie theater that advertises the 4D experience?
Yes. I don't know what that means.
Whenever you're supposed to get wet. Because they can't, soak you.
Oh, they
just kind of, spit on you or, mist you, and it's just, a couple droplets hit you.
Yeah.
This is the 4D experience right here. You're just getting spit on a little bit, okay, sure. I guess technically, yes. Technically, but not really functionally. All right, ask the bench. Wait a second. Wait a second. Let me think. No, we're good. Ask the bench when we get back.
Off the bench.
Guys, go to Tommy's Windows, Doors, and Siding. GEAUX, Go Tommy's.com. Tommy's Windows, Doors, and Siding is your answer. Your exterior home improvement experts. And they have been for a while now. You know, Tommy himself has been in this game for nearly 30 years, and after 20 years of working for somebody else, you know, I've got my 10,000 hours. I've learned a lot. There are things that I would do differently. So he starts his own company, and the results speak for themselves. They're growing hand over fist, year over year, and they've been the Angie Super Service Award winner every single year they've been in existence, and that's because their customers are treated the best. So if you need hardy plank or vinyl siding, wood or vinyl window, you want energy-efficient options that pay for themselves over time, you want lifetime warranty? Tommy's. Go Tommy's.com.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary, for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
At Auctioner, we know healing is a team sport. That's why we've partnered with world-renowned orthopedic surgeon Dr. James Andrews to create the Auctioner Andrews Orthopedics and Sports Medicine Institute. Whether you're a professional athlete or a weekend warrior, our team of specialists are dedicated to getting you back in the game. So whatever your reasons are for reaching your personal best, we've only got one: you. Auctioner Andrews Institute. Long live you.
Got chores that need some extra muscle, but a large piece of equipment is overkill? That's what John Deere compact utility tractors were made for. Powerful enough for the work you need to do. Compact enough for how you need to do it. Find the equipment that's right for you at Sunshine Quality Solutions. Check out our current promotions and learn more about what it means to be powered by sunshine at sunequip.com.
Jerry and Benny Payne began Central Plumbing Company out of their driveway in Tanglewood subdivision. 50 years later and 4 generations down the road, we continue to serve Baton Rouge and the surrounding areas for all of their plumbing needs. Residential, commercial, industrial, or hospitality, Central Plumbing is here 24/7, 365.
We want to thank our customers, family, and friends for 50 years of success.
And looking forward to 50 more.
Crime has serious consequences, but anyone can make a mistake. If you find yourself in trouble with the law, know that you have rights, and it's okay to demand them. The law offices of O.C. Brown are here to protect you and your rights. Felony or misdemeanor, DUI or drug charge. No matter what crime you're accused of, you still have rights. Let the law offices of O.C. Brown uphold them. Call 225-343.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. Live from Super Bowl 59 Radio Row in New Orleans. Presented by L'Auberge Casino Hotel, Baton Rouge.
That's what I'm saying. I think they're all really good friends. They were super pumped to see each other. Rivers, I have a question for you that my wife just texted me. Does walking around in weighted vests make you stronger? Rivers, of course, if you don't know, on top of being an excellent editor of LouisianaSports.net, and on air, writer, producer, all that, is also a fitness expert. I mean, what would the
fitness expert is taking it a little far.
What would the correct title be?
I am a fitness instructor.
Okay, instructor. Yes. I mean, yeah.
But yeah, no, I mean, yeah.
You're educated.
It would make you stronger. It would help with cardiovascular stuff. I mean, it's like carrying your own weights. It's like when people clean their house with weights on their wrists or ankles or whatever. It's just that additional weight.
I always wanted to get those shoes that were weighted that were supposed to help you vert a ton, right? I used to read about them in Slam magazine. Be all these guys like I was 5'10" and couldn't even hit the rim, and now I'm throwing down tomahawks. But I never ended up going through with it. I could dunk in high school though. Can't do it anymore. Lost it. Ask the bench.
Wait, you don't think you could dunk right now?
No, I can't.
Hunt's just shaking his head. You're very tall though.
6'3", you got to actually be able to jump at 6'3" to dunk. And I could. I used to be able
Aren't you
to.
6'4"?
I'm a tall leg, fair. But like
lead with the tall leg.
But well, it's more like 6'3.5". But I'll give myself a rounding up. But no, I mean, look, I used to have a nice vert. I had like a 30-inch vert and stuff. Like I could jump, but no, like once I'm too old now. I don't have the explosion anymore.
Could you ever dunk, Hunt? Okay.
Hunt, you could dunk? Bro.
That feels like a little too much shock. I mean, it was just a casual amount.
Bro, okay, yeah, I'm shocked. Because, Hunt, how tall are you? That's what I'm saying. 6 foot? Duncan? Like, that is ups, dude. What'd you jump, like a 36? Damn, dude.
Alondra, you will be sad to know that the people have stolen our work table. They've shown up. We can't steal their internet anymore. Or their power.
Kate is so good on this board. Hashtag OTB mailbag.
Alondra thinks you're lying, Hunt.
Brought to you by Cole Kurtz Life Physio, Blue Moon Lights Kansas City. I believe Hunt because of A, his love of basketball, and B, he didn't answer it in some sort of like, it was a very run-of-the-mill way. Like, yeah, I could. Yeah. Also, high school, man, it's a different time, which is why, again, Goodwood, if you want to feel like that again. All right, Ask the Bench. Did y'all miss when you weren't big time and you weren't top 20 show? No, I do not. Ask the Bench. My kid's school has a field trip to the aquarium right now. Bad planning or great planning during Super Bowl week?
Oh, bad planning.
No, I disagree.
Not the aquarium. I think the aquarium would be fine and fun. I just think the navigating around the city right now is a little challenging.
It is a little challenging.
So I think bringing a bus full of children to New Orleans right now is probably a little challenging.
That said, a school day zoo or aquarium, even at a time like this, is always a good play because nobody's going to be there. Like, it's not going to be full. The city is full. The aquarium will not be. Yeah. I was actually trying to go to the zoo today, but it was closed.
I think that, but I do think that people are going to start to get here. Right now, I think it's just media, but soon people will start to get to New Orleans, and they will do things like go to the aquarium and go to the zoo.
I'm thinking about a Thursday zoo day, which may be flying a little close to the sun, but I'm very excited about it. Ask the Bench, is Blake Lively guilty? I don't know what we're talking about. I don't know. I'm not sure.
I don't know. I at first was like, oh wow, this is like really problematic, and now I'm wondering if she is a little bit also in the wrong.
Interesting. I know a little bit of this drama, but not enough where I should weigh in.
Yeah.
Ask the Bench, can Rivers explain Blake Lively's talking tomorrow? Maybe Friday.
Tomorrow. Yeah, I can't.
By the way, guys, we are definitely doing champagne shenanigans Friday.
I was gonna ask, do you think that we're allowed to?
No, but we're gonna put the champagne under the table.
Or we just put it in cups.
That's what I mean. And pour it under, but I'm saying like literally, not like have it on there, but like pour it under the table.
What if I just sabered the champagne right here?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I'm into that.
Do you think I can get that through security?
And we're boys with the state troopers, to be fair. Those are our partners.
Oh wait, but we have to put everything through a monitor.
Like that doesn't matter. They're not going to say no alcohol in the building. I don't know how it works though. Anyway, guys. We love you. Thank you. Another great show. Excellent job once again by Kate Wazan, Bo Wegman. Make sure the show, you as well, Rivers, produce the show. Make sure everything goes off without a hitch. Shout out to our guy Jake. If you want to check him out, he's going to be on radio all day long. We got Hunt coming up here at 1 p.m. as well. We got Moscona. Keep it locked. More.
But maybe watch Moscona's second.
Yes. But yeah. Oh, I see. Yeah. Tell him. Yeah. Well,
Jake first.
Off the bench.
Wow, really great dismount to the show there, Bob. In no way did you just stumble over your words and fail to pick up what was being put down at all. You know who never fails in such ways? K2Z Blinds. K2Z Window Coverage. KTOZBlinds.com is the website. And look, Brandon Barton, he built this thing from the ground up, okay? Built it on sweat equity, pounding the pavement, learning the shades game. And what that means is that when you have Brandon in your home for that complimentary estimate, let you know exactly what's going on, you're taking advantage of the 10,000 hours. He can tell you exactly how your home interacts with the sunlight any given portion of the day. He can give you options that match whatever budget you need, whatever your goals are. Are they more functional? Are they aesthetic? Chances are they're both, and we got your answer. So you want to take your home to the next level. You want K to Z window coverings. The website, once again, ktozblinds.com. Remember, complimentary estimate, complimentary installation, ktozblinds.com.
The Windsor Senior Living Community in Mandeville, Louisiana is a beautiful, vibrant apartment community geared toward seniors. They are nestled right in the heart of Mandeville, where seniors live a more carefree lifestyle in spacious apartments with the peace of mind that comes from having a little extra help. Call the Windsor at 985-624-8040 to schedule a lunch and tour. Come see how the Windsor can be your passport to peace of mind.
At Auctioner, we know healing is a team sport. That's why we've partnered with world-renowned orthopedic surgeon Dr. James Andrews to create the Auctioner Andrews Orthopedics and Sports Medicine Institute. Whether you're a professional athlete or a weekend warrior, our team of specialists are dedicated to getting you back in the game. So whatever your reasons are for reaching your personal best, we've only got one: you. Auctioner Andrews Institute. Long live you.
Got chores that need some extra muscle, but a large piece of equipment is overkill? That's what John Deere compact utility tractors were made for. Powerful enough for the work you need to do. Compact enough for how you need to do it. Find the equipment that's right for you at Sunshine Quality Solutions. Check out our current promotions and learn more about what it means to be powered by sunshine at sunequip.com.
Crime has serious consequences, but anyone can make